And we're live.
Hello and welcome to Dungeons and Drama Majors, the live stream D&D show where a bunch of us drama majors get together and play Dungeons and Dragons in a steampunk-themed universe of our own creation where we have a ton of fun and hope you guys watching have a bunch of fun as well.
I have so much fun every time. It's true. He doesn't lie.
I have Brussels sprouts.
Oh, there we go. We got Brussels sprouts and steampunk D&D.
I don't know how fun Brussels sprouts are, Brayden. I think you should get those out of here. Okay?
Hey. No, don't disparage Brussels sprouts in front of me. Get out of here.
Brussels sprouts too. It was a meme. Okay, they're good. They're fun.
All right.
Maybe not fun, but they're good.
So we are excited to be back after a week hiatus there for Easter, spending a little bit of time with our families during this quarantine time, or what limited amount of Zoom chatting family members and eating dinner over Zoom you can do. But before we hop into this fun little world that we have here, as you can see, we're without our sweet little halfling boy, Jade. We hope to get him back soon, just in a short little hiatus, and he will be sort of wandering the streets of New Eden on his own at the top of this session, so we'll have a little bit of a break off with our sweet halfling, but he'll be back soon. And with that said, does anyone have any announcements for the night before we get going?
Nope.
No, sir.
Not a one.
Okay, then let's, Brayden, jump into this session. There it goes. Of Dungeons and Drama Majors. So to give a little recap, as it's been 2 weeks since the last session of where we sort of left things off, where what is the saying? Where we last left our heroes. We began last session with the party halfway through a combat with Prime Tech and some of Prime Tech's mechs. And having this battle with them, the party watched as Prime Tech ordered the execution of one of the two scientists who was still remaining alive in this combat, with these two sort of sniper robots training their guns on the running scientist and just mowing them down. After this, the party pretty quickly dispatched the other two constructs, taking down one of Prime Tech's terrifying hunters, as well as two of these Y series, these sniper robots. After this, the party then reconvened and began discussing what their next plan of action was going to be, with Isla giving a little bit of a middle finger to Prime Tech in one of these mechs' last moments. The party decided that it was a little bit shifty having all of these corpses and broken machines at the side of the road, and so tried their best to fill the autoporter that these scientists came on, this sort of circular mono-wheel transportation unit. And securing as many as they could to this, they set it off to drive as far as it could in the wastes. Didn't get too far before it capsized and rolled and became just a mess of metal and corpses and more metal. And so the party went over. Jade did a little bit of explosive magicking into the autoporter itself to try and mess things up so that nothing could be salvaged from this. Isla left a little bit of a note for Prime Tech for when they come to investigate this. And in addition, Rex also found a fun new little gun on this autoporter. Found a bit of a stun gun, it seems, a weapon that does lightning damage.
He refused to give his boyfriend when I asked so nicely for it.
Refused to give it to his boyfriend.
How dare he?
And so with that, the party then headed off in the direction of New Eden, dragging behind them the metallic corpse of the hunter they had taken out, because Isla was quite interested in seeing what was under the hood of one of these hunters. So dragging it the better part of about 5 or 6 miles, this hunter was reduced to a almost unrecognizable lump of scrap metal that the party found a small outcropping of rock and did a little bit of burying so that they could get this thing in a decent enough spot so that no one would come and steal it. And then heading off to the garages, the party pulled up, got their bikes as well as the rover all squared away with how they were going to have it stored for the time they're going to be staying in New Eden. There was a bit of a conversation about whether or not Miguel was around, and we had Rex and Ludi both avidly looking for the shoulder-popping dwarvish man who who had been hitting on Ludi only about 4 or 5 days before. With that, the party then headed off to the secret entrance into New Eden, hidden underneath the tram lines that lead between New Eden and Black Dock itself, and arriving at this spot with Abby and Ludi having a bit of a running match, with Abby succeeding in being the fastest, although we do have 2 very, very fast boys in this party. The party then found the secret entrance that Ezen had talked about into New Eden, proceeded through, worked their way through the solid iron combination locked door, and found themselves in a abandoned service station below the streets of New Eden. Taking a bit of a rest below, waiting for nightfall to come by, so it was a little bit easier to exit up into the street. The party talked a little bit, discussed their next moves. Ludi pulled out a small item that he had retrieved from one of these scientists, a clockwork disc with a small hemispheric dome at the center of it, which, as Ludi began to mess around with it, began to glow, filling this pitch black service station with just a little bit of light that the party could see in. And with that, we left the party off as, I believe, Rex, disguised as, in his words, a sewer man, whatever that means, crawled up and out of this manhole, pushing the manhole cover away enough that he could peek his head up, and was greeted by a rather disheveled woman sitting in the back of this alley that they were appearing in, looking up to him and saying, "Well, hey there, handsome." And that's where we're going to be jumping in on this episode of Dungeons and Drama Majors.
Woo.
So, Rex, coming up into the streets of New Eden, it is dark. Your dark vision does allow you to see sort of like your general surroundings, which you are currently at the, I guess, the sort of crossroads between the exit out of the alley and then just the other portion of this alley that continues behind the buildings themselves. This woman is sitting up against the outer wall of New Eden, so the wall that, if you were to go through it, would lead you outside, and is pretty well just covered in heaps of fabrics from various sets of clothing. Looks like she's wearing like 3 or 4 different coats. She has a small little fire set up in front of her that she seems to be warming her hands at, and as you push yourself up, she greets you quite warmly and sort of awaits your response.
I lean an elbow on it and sort of like cant my legs at a diagonal on the ladder, so I'm kind of like resting at the top. And I go, "Oh, hello there, miss. Have you been having a good evening?"
Well, it's been a bit weird, but having a pretty good evening.
Oh,
Are you looking to have a bit of company tonight?
Oh.
Who's talking, Rex? Who are you talking to?
I go, "Tss, tss." Down. Company, I have a few friends who are willing to come up.
They're more than welcome.
Well, I suppose company you shall have. And I'm going to come up and scoot my butt onto the sewer and swing my legs up, and I'm gonna walk towards her. I look like a human.
A human sewer man.
Yeah, and sort of like I believe I said Connor McGregor.
I think you did.
Good. Glad I didn't say Connor McDavid, because that's an equally Irish sounding name. Totally different vibes though. I with my hands behind my back just bow in sort of like acknowledgement to her.
Okay. She, in her heap of fabric and clothing settled around this fire, so it gives like a soft tap to the wet stones to her left hand side.
Why are they wet?
It looks like it has recently rained, as New Eden is it often rains, and so things are usually pretty damp.
Making sure she's not a piddler on the roof, if you know what I mean. I'm okay. I'll go over there, but I'll hold on to my hands like this, and then just tuck them between my legs, and then sit next to her, and then just like kind of look to the sewer and say, "It's clear to come up, everybody. It's safe. She's a friend." And then I say, "But I don't know what her name is. What is your name, miss?"
The name is, and as she's talking to you, you see she sort of like shifted herself a little bit closer to you and places her head on your shoulder. Irma.
Irma.
My head pokes out of the sewer at that exact moment.
I give Ludi a look that could. Well, I don't know. It could be mistaken as a lot of things, but it looks like either help me or get the hell out of here. But I did just tell you to come up.
I'm not sure if he's saying get the hell out of here or help me.
Oh, let's go. I hop up out of the sewer.
I move
Okay, so you
ladder first.
push past Ludi to climb up the ladder up out of the sewer grate.
Mhm.
Okay, so you come up into this alley, pretty dark, but you can see the shape of Rex sitting next to this. Looks to be a pretty well like a sentient pile of fabric that he is sitting next to and having a little bit of conversation with, and she seems to be very much cuddled into him.
Wow. Oh, well, aren't you just lovely?
Oh, and who might you be?
No one important. Who might you be?
Irma.
Irma, that's a lovely name.
I finally climb back up out of the ladder, out of the sewer again, and I head on over.
Sort of takes her head off of your shoulder there, Rex, and glances about to the rest of the party.
Abby, did you appear yet?
Abby has appeared.
Okay, I look around and I go, and I kind of like put my head a little lower towards you, Isla, and say, "What is Yade?"
Oh,
You see, coming up at the very end of the group, you see Jade Littleman, quite not super duper happy about being in the sewer, but he pulls himself up and begins to sort of like slowly start with his foot nudging the manhole back over the cover.
I reach a mage hand, and I tuck my fingers under the manhole so it doesn't like poo when it gets to the little notch.
Okay.
Kinda squishes the mage hand into dismissal.
Okay. So you hear like the slight clang of the metal setting back into the metal as it resets and is now flush with this cobblestone back alley that you are now in.
Crossing my arms and seeing that Irma's hand is on Rex's thigh, I say, and who are you?
Irma.
Her name is Irma. And then I kind of smell before I speak. I just want to try to discern what she smells like.
Give me a perception check.
Makes sense. Oh, it's very good. 18 on my sniff check.
Okay. She smells like someone who has been damp for a really long time.
Okay.
Someone who is, with all this fabric, like all of it is never quite fully dried. In the time that she's had it, so there's a little bit of a must, but you can also smell there's some attempt to cover it. There's some like slight fruity notes. You're not sure if it's perfume or whether she's just been rubbing herself with fruits to try and cover it, but it smells like there is some attempt to cover up this musk.
Okay.
So that counts.
And I say, it seems you are, this is your home, or at least temporary home?
All for tonight?
Right. Well, it just so happens to be that we are all on our way home. So it was nice. Home, meaning a very far away place. We were just passing through the sewers, we were told, of New Eden are a engineering marvel, considering, 3 tiers. How do they get the poop all the way from the top down to the bottom? We don't know.
It's quite the contraption.
Yeah.
Irma, are you an engineer by any chance?
No.
Okay. Carry on.
I give Isla kind of like a knowing look, and then look back to Irma and say,
The hand slides just a couple inches up your thigh.
All right, honey. Should we get going then? I'd love to stretch my legs after our sewer tour.
absolutely. I then with my elbow move her hand off my thigh like that, and then
Okay.
I get up and say, Irma, I'm sorry. I would have loved to spend time with you, but we are all. And then I give half of my face disguise like away, but only the half that's not facing her.
Okay.
And I turn Dragonborn for just a moment, and I give like I fucking hate this look at Ludi. And then I look back with full disguise in a bit of a rush. So we hope to see you again. You're very nice to have let us come into your home for tonight. You know.
Well, you know where I live.
For tonight.
For tonight.
Toodaloo.
As we turned to leave, I gave her this stinkiest stink eye.
Her stink rivals your stink eye. Okay, and so you guys begin to head out of the alley. Do you guys head further down this alley?
I'm just gonna take a quick look around and get my bearings and figure out what direction Rex's home is from here.
Okay, give me a survival check.
Oh god, I didn't take my dice out.
Oh god!
Roll off the table. 13 plus 3, 16.
So 16. So judging by your best estimates, since you know sort of generally where the tram station is in regards to everything else,
yeah.
And assuming that wherever you were let out is at least close to where you entered, so at least close to where the tram station is, you are in the far eastern portion of the mid-district, a little bit further north, so sort of like the northeastern portion of the mid-district, not too far away from where you guys went to go visit Ezen's home in the mid-district. So not too far away from there. You guys are in the alleys on the far side of that spot.
Are we like 20 minutes away from the house walking then?
You guys are about, I'd say probably about 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Do you guys want to go straight home, or do you want to maybe grab a pint at one of the pubs on the way?
Where are we, roughly?
We're just on like this sort of northeast corner, near the tram station.
Well, we could stop for a pint, but running into somebody is more likely in public.
Let's go home.
There's drugs there.
Pardon?
There's drugs there.
Yeah.
I have cinnamon hearts. That's a treat.
That's great.
Yeah.
I definitely prefer cinnamon hearts to drugs. And I'll start, I guess I'll start just walking in the direction of Rex's house.
Okay.
Our house. Rex's house. I don't know. Our house. Rex's, one of the house. Home.
Okay.
As Ludi begins to walk ahead, I kind of like drop my head, exhale exasperatedly and lowly to Abby. I say, I wish I liked cinnamon hearts more than drugs too.
Yep.
And then I walk.
All right. And heading back to Rex and Ludi's, you guys take the streets? Do you guys take the alleys?
Alleys?
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
I'll keep my mid-district map out just to make sure we get there nice and safe.
Okay. And who's leading the charge? To
I think.
Ludi?
Ludy.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a perception check there, Ludi.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
6.
Okay.
How you doing?
Heading back to Rex and Ludi's, it's a pretty easy route. After the first about 10 minutes of generally getting your bearings of where you are and beginning to recognize some of the landmarks in the alleys and in the streets, slowly begin to wind your way through these alleys more towards the central mid-district where Rex and Ludi's home is. As you're making your way through these alleys, you notice that in the streets there seems to be a slightly higher overseer presence, sort of similar to when you last came through the mid-district. It seems the events that transpired before the party with the attack on the overseer barracks has sort of started a bit of a chain reaction through the overseers and made them a little bit more wary of Fontaine's boys in particular, and keeping a bit more of a presence on the streets themselves. But you guys don't have any real issue with the overseers as you're cutting through alleys. You see there's a couple people in the alleys, but nothing overly standout-ish about the number or lack of number of people. It seems pretty normal. Place seems a little bit wetter and dirtier than the last time you passed through, but it's most likely just due to recent rainstorms. And after about 25 minutes of cutting through alleys, taking a little bit longer to get to your destination, you guys arrive at Rex and Ludy's home.
I just realized, I'm curious about this. Is New Eden have like a rainy season and a dry season, or does it have like a full 4 seasons?
New Eden, so the God, why can't I think of the name? The region of Riss, so the portion where you guys are, the southernmost portion of Liramar.
Mm-hmm.
It does have like a full 4 seasons. New Eden has a bit of a slightly skewed set of seasons, as do most of the things in sort of the southern portion of the network itself, as they are super duper close in proximity, like New Eden being immediately on the coast of the Shimmering Sea, which gives it a little bit more of a warm climate. But then also New Eden has the benefit of the large steam generators that produce all the power for the city that pretty well produce constant cloud cover over most of the city. So it's usually rainy regardless of season. New Eden isn't really a place where you'll see snow. There hasn't been snow in New Eden for years, but there are like the warm and cool sort of seasons, but mostly in New Eden, it's always rainy. It's just whether it's a cold rain or a warm rain.
So it's Vancouver.
It's Vancouver.
Vancouver, like Beijing with the smog. Okay. Did we lock the door, Rex?
I'll double check, but I produce my key, and I'll try the handle. Is it locked?
The handle is
Oh, come on.
handle's locked.
That's what I thought. I opened the door.
Okay. And you guys find yourselves coming into Rex and Ludy's home, all dark. The slight musty smell of wet wood fills your noses, as you can tell that from this recent rainstorm, there may or may not have been some slight flooding in the house, but hopefully nothing that's too damaging. You do see as you come in, as the light from outside, the very dim light of we're at about like 7 p.m. now, the dim light begins to pour into the house, and you see the slight scurrying of a couple small rodents across the floor back to their hidey holes within the old
Are
corners
rodents
of the
normal
house.
here? Are rodents normal? Do we normally have mice?
You know that you have had mice in the past. You weren't entirely sure if you still had them, but it appears you still do.
Could I have noticing them with my dark vision, sort of reactively cast Eldritch Blast at them?
Sure, give me a roll to hit.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say my command word quietly, but the blasts are gonna be audible.
Mhm.
So I just go throw, and boom, both come out. Hopefully,
Okay. Give me 2 rolls to hit.
Okay. That's cocked. All right, so I got a 10 and 16.
Okay, so the 10 just misses, as they are pretty quick, and they mostly get their AC from their ability to sort of dodge out of the way of things. So the first shot, you guys, looking at Rex, you see him open the door, glance back, and fire these 2 Eldritch Blasts into the home. You hear the dull thumping sound of 2 blasts of magic impacting something. You hear a high-pitched squeak as one of them impacts, and Rex, you can see with your dark vision, the one mouse that you hit with this Eldritch Blast just disintegrates.
Where do I see where the other one goes?
The other one darts towards the opposite wall and takes a quick turn behind a shelf and disappears between the shelf and the wall.
Ah, there it is, Rex! Get it now!
No, Ludy, he is a survivor. He deserves to live.
Oh my god. I think it's oh fuck. I'm gonna go straight to the storage cupboard, noticing that there's been some flooding and leaking, and I'm going to see if any of my belongings in there have been damaged.
Okay, so unlocking the door and
Yeah, and I'm
open?
careful to open it just a little bit and slide in and close it behind me.
okay, give me an investigation check.
19.
Okay, You find coming into the storage closet. The storage closet is sort of like the majority of this first floor, is slightly raised off the ground. You can still smell the must of wet wood in this room, and feeling around, only things that were directly touching the ground are slightly damp, but nothing has been soaked in the room.
Okay. I discreetly leave the storage cupboard, close the door behind me, lock it, and return to the group.
Okay.
Nothing in there is damaged.
In the meantime, I've gone just to the fridge to see what there is I could offer the guests.
Okay, pulling open your guys' fridge, there are the remnants of the last meal that Isla cooked.
Do we all cook it?
We're all cooked together. That Isla led the charge of cooking.
Yes.
And
strawberries and cream. I made some sort of delicious dessert.
oh yes, you did. So there's remnants of dinner.
Sorry.
Remnants of dessert. Looks to be a few half-drunk bottles of various liquor, and besides that, it's just empty. There is nothing in this fridge.
I push the leftover food aside and grab the bottles of liquor, and I would come back and say, "Who needs a tavern?" And I put them on the coffee table and begin uncorking them, grab glasses, and pour some drink.
Okay, so you have 3 bottles in total that are all 3 have been opened and are in varying states of being drunk. The first one is a Broken Barrel Brewery Amber Ale, which is about half drunk. The next is a Sterling Falls Brewing Corporation Dark Lager, which is about a quarter drunk. And then lastly is another Broken Barrel Brewery. This is a stout, which is there's only a quarter left in the bottle.
So just some beer, hey?
Yep, just some beer.
Oh god, it's also super flat.
It's completely flat. It's also, you don't know how long it's been sitting in there.
It'll pair lovely with your moldy dessert.
The dessert has gotten that sort of like crust over it, where like the fridge has dried it out. So it's not in its prime by any means. Like I think the last time you guys were here was about just over a week ago.
Okay.
Rex, do you have any, like, lemonade?
Not at all, no.
Okay.
I do have these fine crystals, this white powder that I found at Donovan's mansion.
Is it lack sugar?
It's a mysterious white powder.
Did you find it in the kitchen?
No, like in these collectibles, like in that creepy in-between place where we found like skulls and like, you know,
Should we try
all
some?
the like it felt like Halloween, like it was like horror, like also like there was like a severed head and a bird with no head, you know, and then the white powder. I decided to take that.
I dip my finger in it. Should I?
Isla, it could be.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't. Okay, like yeah,
It could be
it
poison.
could be. Yeah.
Well, how are we
Like,
gonna know?
don't touch the weird thing that was in the like bird corpse room. You know, like who knows? Maybe it's not dangerous, but it could have like disease on it. You could get sick.
Okay.
You know.
I try to put it back into the pile.
Okay,
Like-
sort of remove what has stuck to your fingers. There's still like the little remnants of this white powder that you're trying to brush it off.
I smell it.
Seems
Does
to
it
push
smell
off.
scary?
Give me a perception check.
Can I investigate the powder now?
Sniffing powder. She's sniffing the powder.
I'm smelling it. I'm not
Can I-
sniffing it.
Oh, you're not like inhaling it
No.
into your brain.
17.
No scent.
No, it's just plain.
Sorry, Raiden?
Can I investigate it? Or like, can I just do it like a history check and see if it's something I've seen before, I'm familiar with?
Sure. I'd say give me either a... Do you have proficiency with alchemist supplies?
No, just glass blowing tools.
Okay, so I'd say give me a flat intelligence check.
Okay. That's Oh, intelligent, flat intelligence. Okay, 12.
Okay. Looking at the powder, it looks shockingly like stuff that Rex uses in the creation of some of his drugs. It looks like etheric powder, but you're not entirely sure sort of like what state it's in, like whether it's refined or whether it's like good quality or bad quality. You can tell it's etheric dust, but
And just
not entirely sure sort of what quality.
Yeah.
just to be clear, this is different than the etheric dust that I have, right?
Yes, because I believe the etheric dust you have is stuff that is that the stuff you scraped out of the sigil? Who scraped etheric dust out of a sigil?
That was me.
That was you? So that's different.
I'm pretty sure it's etheric dust.
Magic, so I should have eaten it.
Jackpot!
Actually, Rex was telling me just the other night about you remember, Rex, we were thinking about maybe I could get some extra powers or something if I did what you did when you first developed Lax, or
Okay.
not Lax, Wake. Or
You're gonna pray to the Dark Lord?
No prayers necessary.
Just like call him up.
Not even that.
maybe we could all get like magic powers from this.
Would we be like a cult then?
Party of warlocks.
Like a set of core beliefs to be a cult.
Billy, I love you.
Labelli.
LaBelly, please give me magic.
Which
As-
is
As they say this, I walk with my back towards them, to the counter where I have like some of my lab set up. I would have put some things that could easily be knocked over underneath, like the sink and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'll start to kind of like reassemble, and then I put my hands on the counter, but like with not facing them, like this. And I turn around and say, "Let's get cooking."
Ooh.
I'll then keep that mysterious etheric powder off to the side, but I did purchase three. The ability to make 3 doses of wake supplies.
Yes, you did.
Which does have etheric dust as its component, and I imagine Alan would sell me good shit. So I'm going to try to compare the etheric powder I have for the wake supplies with this new stuff and see if I can spot any differences.
Cool. So give me an alchemist tools check with advantage, and so that would be with int. So alchemist tools with int with advantage.
Is that proficiency also?
Yes, because you are proficient in I believe you're proficient in alchemist tools.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, that's fat. Fat.
And it's with advantage too.
Yeah. 23.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay. So comparing these two things side by side, doing small sample tests with each, sort of pulling them into small little piles and doing some of your basic alchemical work with them, you discern that the pile that you have that Ludi was looking at is different than the stuff that that Alan had sold you. It seems the stuff that Alan has sold you is refined etheric dust, and this other stuff is raw etheric dust. So the difference between those is that raw Aetheris has the opposite effect of Aetheris. It produces incredibly powerful anti-magic fields.
Whoa.
After having I taste a little bit of it just because I'm a ballsy alchemist, and I guess I feel like do I feel like its effect on me as an aberrant kind of?
You can feel it almost repelling. Like you can feel your blood almost like pulling away as it moves, as like the glob of saliva moves down your throat. You can feel your whole body sort of trying to get away from this small bit of pure Aetheris.
You okay?
You guys aren't going to believe this. You know how like those scanners, like the one we have, and I produced the one we have, they can detect magic.
Uh-huh.
And you know how this Aetheris can produce a magical effect. Well, this Aetheris can repel and suppress magic.
I don't believe it.
You don't believe it?
You said we weren't gonna believe it.
Well, I better prove myself. And what I'm going to do is I want to try to I'm gonna brainstorm, but I don't know if Jackson's smart enough to do this. So I think Rex is going to try to brainstorm and potentially get the help of his companions. A formula for a drug that could be like put into probably like an injectable serum to negate a magical effect that somebody has or negate their magic. Now,
Cool.
Okay.
just letting you know, Rex's 2 drugs, one has been in like an inhalation, and
Mhm.
I think both of them actually
Both of them have been inhaled, yeah.
they're both in like using an inhaler. So he doesn't know that well, but yeah. Okay, yeah, so I turn and I say, what if I could create some sort of serum that could repel or stop someone from using their magic?
Like you mean like take someone's magic away permanently?
Yo, like the shackles, and Abby pulls out the other pair of shackles.
Like the shackles, but potentially with enough Aetherius or with the right formula, it could do so without the use of shackles, and we could do it discreetly, even. Someone sneaky enough, even, could administer such a thing.
We'd have to test it on someone. And I look at you, and then I look at Jade.
Jade sort of like backs away.
You can
Well,
test it on
I mean,
me.
well, would it work on you?
I don't know. I broke the machine, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah, like that thing doesn't break on other people though, so I'm kind of worried that if we just like stuck some like stuff into you, it might cause you to like explode or something.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
serious. Okay, yeah, no.
I'm serious. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Maybe not me. We can try it on Rex.
I've always been the first test subject of my drugs. It's only fair.
But if it like takes away your magic forever, then we'd be screwed.
Should I find somebody on the street? I can take the gun out and just point it around until I find someone who's magical and then convince them to come back home with me, and then we can just inject them.
Oh!
I feel like
I have a bit of a moral issue with that.
yeah.
Although it is a good idea.
Also, I think the aberrants of New Eden are probably pretty used to being asked if they're aberrants at gunpoint. They probably know how to get out of it.
Oh, I wasn't going to ask him. I'm just going to sit in the corner and just, like, shoot away until I find someone.
And then
It's just a scanner, right?
Oh!
Oh!
I'm not going to shoot them. I'm going to, like, point the scanner gun at them. You know?
I do still have a moral quandary with that, like Ludi said.
I feel like I only want to take away someone's magic if they're using it to kill me or kill one of us or stop me from saving my mom.
Okay.
Isla, it's a brilliant idea and I appreciate your offer, but I'm willing to try it. I'm willing to try the drug.
Okay.
It could. What if it took away your magic permanently? Like, forever. No more guns. No more labelli. No more mage hand.
Couldn't the Dark Lord always just call him back if he wanted?
Why don't you all love me? Not just because of my magic.
Yes, of course.
Well,
I love you. You're a sexy beast, and not a beast in like a bad way. It's totally normal to be a dragonborn. I do. Drink some more of the ale.
I kind of smile as I see Ludi dig a deeper hole than he's ever been in before with me, with my race in question. But then I then say, well, if I lose my powers and it doesn't cause me to lose all of you, then I've lost nothing that I care about. I then turn to my lab, and I want to make that thing first. But if I know that I need to like make some wake to warm myself up, in like, you know what I mean, like kind of situate myself and practice a bit, then I'll do wake first and then that one.
Okay. it may be better to do the wake first, so that you sort of have it in your system again. You have the just for the practice.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
You can definitely try to do the other one first.
No, I'll make 3 doses of wake
Okay.
to have the suppress for.
Give me a alchemist tools check using intelligence again.
Okay.
Not an advantage.
Oh, okay. I think if we establish, I normally help Rex. Like, I'm his, like, assistant. Can I, with this kind of stuff, like, in the past, I have been?
I'd say for wake, because I don't think you've made wake since the incident.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know how to do this. One. I'd say with lax, definitely.
Okay. Do you need a hand, though, Rex?
Yeah, Ludi, could you pass me that thing? I'm going to pour this in, but as soon as I do, you need to back the hell away. Why don't you go up to the loft when I do it, okay?
To the loft? You're not telling everyone else to go to the loft.
No, everybody should go to the loft. I just care about your life more than all of them, so you should go there first and hide under the bed.
Don't worry. Between the two of us, we care for all of your lives equally.
It's true. It's true.
And I pass you your little... I don't know what it is.
It's a beaker with clear...
That's what I was picturing. I was just trying to figure out the word. What's the word? There's a funny word for it. It's not schematic. There's a... Come on, Ben. I'm sure you know this.
I don't know
Formula?
what you're talking about.
Oh, no. There's
I don't know what you're describing.
like MS tools. Like I don't know what it is. If someone watching us knows, please PM me. I'm not going to sleep tonight if I don't figure this out. Or on our intermission, I'm going to be Googling. So, okay. I pass your thingy. And
Yeah, okay, Rex, give me that alchemist tools check.
Okay, it fell, but I'm going to use it.
Upstairs. I go upstairs. I urge everyone else to come upstairs with me.
I follow. Oh, Ludi, it's like a slumber party.
Yeah.
You can braid my hair if you want.
I'm gonna stay downstairs and I'm gonna be like, hey, if this man's gonna get swallowed up by his own hubris, I kind of want to be here to watch.
Abby, you can watch from the balcony. It's a lot.
No, this is more fun, trust me.
Okay. On your own.
Check that. I do. And I got a 15.
15. Okay. So, and you're making 3 doses.
That's right.
Okay.
I'll share cinnamon hearts with Ludi while we watch from the balcony.
These are so spicy.
Humans think everything's spicy.
So, making your 3 doses. The first dose goes by without a hitch. You go through, you are able to find the right amounts of etheric dust and the rest of the components that you purchased from Alan to sort of let this thing to heat the chemical enough to get it to the right point, add just enough etheric dust, let it cool, and you are able to successfully make your first one. Second one, sort of happy with how the first one went, goes a little bit more difficult. You have a couple of issues through it, but you still produce another dose of wake. And the last one, I'm going to need you to roll percentile dice for me.
Oh!
Billy, is that you? I got a 71.
Okay. So this one, there is a moment where you're going through, where you're going through, everything's just going just fine. All 3 of these have been good so far. You're getting the right measurements through, and as you're waiting for it to heat to the right level, and you're watching as the liquid begins to make its way through some of the glassware, you spot on the left-hand side of your sort of alchemical setup, one of the mice sort of peeps their head out and begins slowly sort of making its way in and amongst the glassware. And there's a moment where you don't want to scare the mouse, because if it moves too abruptly, it could screw up the whole thing. And as you're trying your best to get this mouse to slowly get out of the way, you are successfully able to complete the 3rd dose. Just as the mouse sort of books it off, the glassware begins to shudder just a bit. You're able to sort of catch things, but nothing explodes. Whew!
I like how you said that. Nothing explodes.
Nothing explodes.
Isla and I are clapping from upstairs. Thank you, Mark!
Oh, this has all been over the course of like probably the better part of an hour.
Okay.
I just
Woo.
we clap.
Thank you for refraining from applauding until that very particular operation was done.
Isla's hair is in a beautiful double braid.
Look at me. I look like a warrior.
Unless I need to do a double check, unless I need to roll a check to make sure it's beautiful. But if I don't need to, it's beautiful.
I'd say you're pretty good at double braiding.
Yeah.
Woo.
Sort of during all this, while you guys have been up in the loft watching Rex, it's been a pretty, although it's, not necessarily the most exciting thing watching someone make drugs, this was pretty intense. There was a lot of Rex moving around, a lot of very precise things. It was almost like a dance watching him create this, create these 3 doses of wake. And while this has been going on, one of the things you notice is that Jade has been sitting on the bed, sort of legs dangling off the side of the bed, and seems very deep in his thoughts, seems to be sort of mulling something over in his head during this whole hour.
What time of day is it?
What day is it?
What time of day is it?
Time of day, at this point, it's about 8 o'clock.
AM, PM?
PM.
After having completed the final dose and that little thing, I kind of like watch to see if the mouse is going to return or anything, and then I'll take the 3 doses, move over to Abby, and then like, are you kind of like by the door?
No, I'm in like the middle of the room, close to like the couch. Yeah.
Okay, I then sit down and kind of look at them like proud, and they're in the same like brand of inhalers that I shoot lax out of, and I go, so I don't forget. And then using my claw, I'm just going to scratch W's into each one.
Okay. So you've got the 3 inhalers marked with a scratched W. It's a little bit shaky, but you can recognize it as a W.
Perfect. I then kind of look up at the loft and look over to you, Abby, and say, well, I feel warm, but making something that is similar to the thing that I believe almost killed me and made a pact with more Billy, it scares me a little bit.
You haven't made wake since the first time you made wake?
Well, yeah.
Oh my god. I never realized that. I'm a terrible boyfriend.
No! I then put the 3 doses on the coffee table and like move up the stairs really quickly. Ludi, hey. It's okay. We've had our sights set on bigger things than a drug. And to be honest, the formula wasn't perfected. It wasn't realistic to make a foundation of an empire on a drug that you can't make every time.
Yeah. Lax is a bit more reliable. I mean, even I can make it, so.
Very true. Makes me wonder if I should get some more supplies. I wonder how Alan's doing.
Probably slimy as always.
Hey,
I don't like him.
he is the reason that we have been able to survive.
I know. I don't have to like his smell, or his weird smile, or his personality to appreciate all that he's done for us.
You didn't bring up his eyes. You must love his eyes. It's his redeeming character trait.
I'm not going to comment on something he can't control, but his smell, he certainly could work on. And his personality, you could work on that too. I look around to the room at large. Wouldn't you all agree? We can all work on our personalities? Not that we need to, but like that it's
for yourself, bud.
Abby, are you saying that he's stuck in your ways?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying something else.
What are you saying? I'm not saying we need to work on our personalities. I'm just saying that we could if we wanted
Yeah, I'm not saying that we do.
You go upstairs.
That was Ludi raging.
Almost punched him, but I didn't want to have to roll a check, and I was hoping Rex would stop me before I got there, so I just decided I just freaked out inside.
Wait, did Ludi do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I see you literally do that. Like, okay, all right. We all have, opinions, huh? And tensions were high. We all felt that. I got a little bit of sweat dribbling down my tendrils. But let's all take a moment. Does anybody want to go get more drinks? This beer is stale and flat. Maybe one person? As only one person is allowed to go grocery shopping.
Oh. Yes. We need to go to, for no particular reason, too much in particular, I would very much like to go back to the Weirwood Meadery.
For that boy.
What?
Weren't you supposed to meet that?
Oh no, she means that man. You know, the illustrious masked employer of ours.
Wait, how do we know he's still gonna be there?
Well, he told me I could always reach him there.
Well, you might have some advice, so...
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, we should go. I think that... I mean, I'm... Yeah, we should probably deal with that as fast as we can.
Well, I suppose that you have a date tonight.
Yeah.
Do you want to go alone, or should you have company?
We should all go to... Oh, well...
Well, I don't know what... I don't know what's more safe, because we're wanted fugitives, technically. So should I go alone? Is it more safe if I go alone, or is it more safe if I bring someone?
I think we should all go together, but if you want some alone time, you can definitely have it. But I think we should at least escort you there. Not escort you there, like escort each other, like be a unit.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
Woo! We're going to a bar.
Does anyone remember the password?
Yes. If I were to sit down and have whiskey at a chair, where in Mithril should I sit?
Drink it at.
What?
Well, chair to drink it on.
Yeah.
Well, we can do something like if I were going to sit down and chill with my boys. Where are we going to get lit? What we drink? What are we drink? What are we going to drink? No.
What's the best cold one to crack open with the boys?
That's it. That was it.
That it was something like that. Yeah.
Should we maybe watch episode 1 again?
Woo!
Okay, so you guys start making your way out towards the Weirwood Meadery?
Yes.
Okay. So everyone's leaving the house?
I actually don't want to go. I'll say, you know what? Three of you should be fine to go alone. Maybe Yade, would you want to join me so I could go check in on Alan?
Jade hasn't moved from the bed upstairs, just been sort of watching the goings on and sort of looking up at you, seems to be sort of snapping out of his thoughts. Yeah, sure.
Well,
sure, sounds good.
You could also stay here and keep watch if you'd like. I can turn the lights off if you need. I mean, sorry, they're already off, my bad.
You know what, I'd really like that.
Well, Ludi, if you'll allow me, I'd like to go alone and see Alan. I can stay disguised. I'll be fine. I'll look like anybody else in the street, other than me.
Or any of us.
I was gonna go as you.
Well, you could go as me. They haven't seen me, but just make sure you don't go as Ludi.
Okay, I'm going to disguise myself as Kale Wynn.
Okay. Sounds like a weird dude.
Sticks out like a sore thumb. No, Alan said actually, I want to disguise myself as like an elf, but like, are there pale kind of elves in this world?
There are pale elves. However, you have never seen one.
Oh shit! Okay,
they're incredibly rare, and people who have seen them, they're often talked of in sort of like almost like a pseudo mythological way, as in like some people think that after the fall that the pale elves are completely wiped out.
Yeah.
But people still sometimes say that they've seen one. Sometimes people don't believe them. Ezen, for instance, talked about a pale elf that he has seen. Whether or not that's true is up to you guys. But They do exist, but some people think they're mythological.
Okay, then I'll go to the other side of the spectrum. I'll go as a dark elf, but
Okay.
I want to be like completely bald, and I'm gonna be wearing like kind of just like almost like monk-like robes. Like maybe I've come to New Eden on what do you call that when you're doing a religious journey?
Pilgrimage.
A pilgrimage, exactly.
Okay.
And I'll just do that on the inside of my house, and then I'll exit, leaving Jade there, and then looking at everybody and say, "All right, safe travels. Do any of you need my map?"
No, we'll be fine. Say hi to Alan for me.
Oh, I sure will.
So, Abby,
So, Ludi,
what exactly would you change about me if you could?
no, I'd change nothing. You're a lovely boy with a great voice. Nice
A great voice?
way of being, good
A
vibes.
voice do
Only.
not-
No, man. Ludi, I was just fucking with you earlier. Come on now. I got the message. It was nice. Nice and good, heartfelt, heartwarming. I think you're a great dude. Don't worry about it, bud.
Isla, anything you'd change about me if you could?
No, I think you're perfect in every way. I love you.
Great. I'm gonna start heading towards the Weirwood Meadery.
Okay. So having walked this path before, it takes you guys probably about 15 minutes cutting through the alleyways. Who is leading the pack? Ludi, give me another perception check.
Oh, man.
I really shouldn't have said I'm leading the pack again. 8.
Okay. So leading your fellow compatriots to the Weirwood Meadery, you guys continue through these back alleys every so often, crossing a street when you need to get to the next set of alleys, and then continuing through. You again notice as nightfall has sort of set on the city, and the various electric lamps are beginning to pop up across the major streets. Long shadows are being cast across the buildings of New Eden. You can see every so often the large shapes of the shadows cast by overseers walking the streets at night. There seems to be more of almost a curfew sort of check going on. Seems to be more overseers out late at night watching people. You see them sort of pulling people aside as they're walking late at night, and you see them very hurriedly sort of run off to whatever destination they're headed to. So it seems that the overseers are cracking down a bit on a curfew as well throughout the city.
Is there anyone around, like as we take the alleys towards the Weirwood Meadery, are there any people walking the streets like right at this exact moment in time that are on their own, that aren't that an overseer isn't talking to or anything like that?
Not that you can see, no. You guys don't come across anyone walking alone. There are the couple people that you can see from a distance the overseers talk to, but none of them come your way.
Okay, if we run into anyone, like not necessarily on their own, but even if they're in a group or whatever, just no overseers. If we run into anyone on the way, let me know.
Okay. So you guys begin to make your way, hoping to have a interaction with some of the townsfolk of New Eden, but unfortunately, as you make it closer to the Weirwood Meadery, it would appear this curfew has been in full effect at this point, and the only people that you see on the street is the occasional shadow of one of these overseers passing by one of these street lights.
Okay.
But coming out of the alley beside Weirwood Meadery, you guys are greeted once again with the slightly flickering neon red sign of the Weirwood Meadery, and coming into the building itself, it looks pretty well completely vacant. There are 2 people sitting at a table on the very, very far right of the bar itself. They seem to be less so customers and more employees of the Weirwood Meadery who seem to be having a drink after shifts. There is, with them on this table, there are 2 sets of empty tankards sitting beside them. So it looks like they're a couple rounds in. And as you approach the counter of the bar itself, you recognize the woman in her bright blue dress, standing at the counter, as Doreen.
Doreen!
Well, hello, miss.
Hi, lovely. Listen, oh, God.
If we were to wanna...
If I were to order a bottle of Mithrin whiskey, where would be a fine place to sit?
Sort of nods and takes in the three of you, and I'm very glad to see that you're all okay. Unfortunately, our mutual friend is not in at this time. However, you do have impeccable timing, as earlier this morning I received, and she goes under the desk or under the counter and pulls out a decently thick black book that she pulls open and begins sort of leafing through the papers. And as she's leafing through them, you can see what looks to be small bits of parchment and letters, and one page that she flips by looked to have like a small coin purse attached to it. So it seems to be various things that are set up for deliveries here. And she comes to a page near the back of the book that has a crisply folded letter at the back of it that she pulls out. And you notice that on the letter itself, there is a wax seal closing the letter, and on the wax seal is the likeness of a phoenix.
Oh.
And she hands it over to you.
Is it for me?
Well, you and I do hope your other two friends are okay, but you are the ones that, he was interested in contacting.
We're all okay. Is there a return address on the envelope?
Flipping it over, there is no marking whatsoever on the envelope besides this seal.
Okay.
Isla, do you recognize it?
Yeah. It's like, look, and I show him my pocket watch with the phoenix on it.
And emblazoned on the back of Isla's pocket watch is this almost strikingly identical sort of phoenix seal.
Is it related to... What is it related to? Is this something Lily would know, the burden that I myself have just forgotten?
Give me a history check, because it may be, but it's also a bit of an archaic.
Oh, nat 20.
Okay. Looking at the seal, you recognize sort of like the outer rim of it and sort of how it's set into the locket itself. It's a little bit easier to sort of tell on Isla's locket itself that it's one of the symbols of the houses, so the various houses of New Eden, and how it's often been, each house has been sort of given a bird or various different things to sort of separate out the various social classes, and especially the upper echelons, like in the high district, each house has a different sort of bird allocated to them. The phoenix, however, is one that you recognize, but you also know this is a seal that has been out of use for the better part of about 150, almost 200 years. The house itself fell apart. No one knows quite why or what happened. There are rumors that the head of the house went insane and murdered his family members. There's other rumors that they were involved in like a cult sort of worship, or that there was something dark, something cursed about the house itself, and that was part of the reason why it fell apart. It's often in the various texts that refer to this house, it's often used as sort of like a lesson of what not to do, and about falling to darkness and staying away from darkness, that this once great house has been completely destroyed.
And is that story like famous and well known, or is it sort of like a...
It's a story that'd be well known sort of among academics. It's not something that'd be necessarily well known to the populace in general. But for someone like you who had the education that you did, this would have been a story you would have heard.
Oh, okay. And do I know why Silence would be using that symbol?
No clue.
It's just like a little. It's just like a little picture that Silence like uses to. It's his stamp.
And that. Sorry, did you just show me a necklace or a pocket watch?
It's a pocket watch, but it's on a chain. It's on a chain I wear around my neck, but it's a pocket watch. Yeah.
And did he give you that pendant there, that pocket watch?
Sort of. I stole it from him the first time I met him, but then he let me keep it after.
Oh.
Kale, do I remember what the name of that house was?
The name of the house has been lost to history.
Oh my god, that's so cool. That's very interesting that he he uses that symbol, Isla.
Okay. Doreen,
Yes,
can I use your back room, love?
of course. The back room is in the private room, or is there something else you had in mind?
No, just the private room. We only need it for like 15 minutes. I would like to buy my friends a drink. My friends here. A
Oh,
drink.
you are more than welcome to. I do advise that you do keep your business as quick as possible. We do occasionally at this point at night, we do get the overseers coming around for rounds for curfew now, something new they've implemented.
Oh, what
Do
time
they
does
know
curfew
back-
start?
Sorry?
Go ahead, Isla.
What time does curfew start?
Curfew officially starts at, the sort of soft curfew is 8 o'clock. The overseers really start, they get very serious around 9.
Or 9?
After 9 o'clock, being out on the streets without either written consent from an official or other things can lead to prosecution.
Oh, I look at my pocket watch. What time is it?
It's about 8:30.
8:30. Okay. Well, could we actually just grab a couple of bottles to go?
He sort of like glances out to the street and seeing sort of how dark it's gone. Why not?
It's okay. I have a backpack that'll make him disappear.
She sort of looks at you in astonishment, but then seems to...
They reappear, Doreen. They reappear, so.
Well, it seems very, very useful. So what can I get for you?
I don't know. You boys pick it out. I'll pay for it, and I'm gonna open the letter while they're figuring out what we want.
Okay. So, for starters, would you guys like a beer, a wine, or a spirit?
Ooh, I want a beer.
Okay, so the 3 companies you can choose from is the Broken Barrel Brewery, the Sterling Falls Brewing Corporation, or Below the Hills Brewers.
Below the Hills.
Okay, so they have a pale ale and a sour.
I'll have the sour.
Okay, so you order one of the sours. Abby, is there anything you'd like to get?
A spirit.
A spirit? So, the 3 biggest companies in New Eden is the Buxom Baron, Harborside, which is also, Harborside is like New Eden's brewing company, and then the Rissian Oasis are the 3 companies.
Ooh, I'll get that Oasis.
Okay, so they have a tequila and a vodka.
Vodka.
Okay, so you get the Rissian Oasis vodka. And would you like anything, Isla, or are you just getting the boys' drinks?
Oh, do you have, oh, actually, I'm running a little low on cinnamon hearts. Do you have any now? I remember I suggested that to you last time I was here.
She sort of gives you a bit of a quizzical look, and I'm sorry we haven't gotten any in.
Oh, man. Do you have, like cinnamon fire tea?
We don't have a cinnamon fire tea. We do, if you're looking for something spicier, we have a spiced rum, Buxom Baron.
No, I don't drink. Lemonade. Do you have lemonade?
Not technically. I mean, we do have lemons, and we do have water.
That's just lemon water, Doreen.
Yeah.
That's okay. You know what? It's fine. I'll go back to reading the letter.
Okay. So reading through the letter, it's, where did I put it? Where did I
Read it over your shoulder, Isla.
There it is. So the gist of the letter itself, Silence seems to be outlining sort of a new possible job opportunity for the group of you. Silence talks about how what happened the night of the heist at the Caldwells has seemed to have had rippling effects across the network and RIS itself as a whole. To the north, the city of Post, sort of a trading outpost in the network, just a little ways, quite a ways north of New Eden, is beginning to report some strange happenings. There's been officials disappearing in the night, eldritch sigils are appearing on the sides of buildings only for their occupants to mysteriously go mad only days later. And this almost imperceptible whisper that is being carried by the wind just sort of pulls at the back of your mind in the city. Silence tells you that his employer is quite interested in working with the locals of Post to figure out what's going on and hopefully acquire more information on this creature that you faced and what its appearance means for Emiria as a whole.
Okay. Does he say anything about how to contact him if we want to, like, take the job, or?
He doesn't leave any contact information, but he did leave you, when you guys first departed, his, the coin that he gave you. He gave you a gilded dove where on the tail side of the gilded dove is the phoenix sigil, and told you to leave that with Doreen with your message, and she'll see that he gets it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Doreen. Now, I know we're on a time crunch, but he was only here this morning, right? You got this letter this morning?
Oh, I didn't get it from his hands, but yes, messenger brought it.
Okay. It's like 8:35 now.
Sort of glances at the clock. About?
Can I have 5 minutes to write a letter and give you a coin to get back to him?
I mean, of course. It's, end of the day, it won't be me getting in trouble if you guys are out past curfew. Just worry for yourselves.
Okay.
You must be rough on business, eh, Doreen?
It certainly takes a bit of the nightlife out of New Eden. A lot of the establishments such as mine are having to find ways of shifting to be more of a daytime spot. Not as many late night goers. We used to get a lot of regulars who would stay a number of hours, but they can't stay quite as long anymore. So it's new, but as the overseers have said, it's for our safety. There was recently an attack on one of the overseers' barracks, and it's sort of started a bit of a chain reaction through the overseers. They're a little bit more, well, the high overseer is a bit fed up with Fontaine's boys and is trying his best now to eliminate them. And what he believes is best is if the citizens are inside at an early enough hour, it's easier to, well, catch those out late doing nefarious deeds.
Okay, so I'm writing silence. Whoa, spooky. Sounds like fun. Maybe we'll come join you eventually. Maybe. You didn't say what town you're in, so I don't really know how to get there, but cool. Period. I need help. I mean, I don't need it. I'd like it. There's something going on inside of me, period. Need to remove, period. Looking for connections. Could use your expertise, period. Hey, how are you doing? A job went well. We've been doing lots of cool stuff. I left the city. We should catch up. Bought some liquor from Doreen. Thought you'd like that. Can you send the coin back in your reply so that I can write you again? Are you still in New Eden? I'm not sure how long we'll be here for, but we just got here again today. Also, we're not in like a great political spot here. Did you know there's a curfew now? Running out of space. Okay. Please send the coin back. Aye.
Okay. And you hand that to Doreen?
Yeah. With the coin.
Takes the paper, folds it in half, takes the coin and presses it to the paper and pops it into this black book that she has. And, well, I'll make sure he gets it.
Thank you. Oh, how much for the liquor?
For the beer and for the spirit comes to 5 eagles.
Did we get anything for Rex and Jade?
They can have some of mine.
Okay.
You know, yep.
Rex would love the vodka.
Okay. 5 eagles, you said?
Yes.
Okay. I give her 5 eagles.
Okay. So she takes the 5 silver from you and pops them into a cash box underneath the counter. And well, you all stay safe and have a good rest of your time.
You too, Irenie.
Mm-hmm. Think about the cinnamon hearts.
I will.
You'll like them.
Getting some.
Okay. And then I think we go.
Okay. So heading back out onto the streets and making your way back to
being
movies.
Extra sneaky about it now that we know the consequences, I think.
Okay. Give me stealth checks, everybody.
Okay, on it.
That was
stop.
nearly a natural one. It's not, but it was nearly. It like hit the one and then went. Boom.
Can't have that.
No.
Your rolls.
22.
22?
22.
22?
It was a 3 on the die, which amounts to a 10.
Oh. Okay. So you guys begin quietly making your way to Rex and Ludi's. Ludi every so often sort of catching himself in like a small puddle or little bits of debris, and so there is a little bit more noise from in front of the two of you. You both are like shadows following Ludi, and Ludi's just a little bit more clumsy with some of the movement. But you guys begin to make your way back towards Rex and Ludi's. Meanwhile, Rex, heading to the northern portion of the Mid-District Reno to meet Alan, you come across the large refuse bin that Alan usually hangs about.
Mm-hmm. Just got a question before I do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Did at any point throughout, I guess, after the combat, and then we hit all the stuff, did I get an hour to short rest to get spell slots back?
I think you guys did an hour in the service station. I think you guys spent an hour, did a short rest there.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool. My health is back, just not my slots. Okay, I just want to know if I got slots. Happy to hear. I approach wearily, not looking like myself, and then I'm going to send a little draconic mage hand over to the bin, and I'm just going to just tap on it 3 times.
Okay. So you can hear, it's like the dull tapping of the finger on the bin. No response.
And I say to myself, did he drown? And then I'm going to move up to the bin, and I'm going to put my thumbs under it, lift it up, and look in.
Okay. Lifting it up and looking in, you see Alan there, totally passed out. Just passed out, like sort of back on. He's probably like about 3/4 of the way up this bin, laying on trash, and just sort of like laying there, passed out.
I toss the lid up and I say, Alan, what are you doing?
You grab him and he... What?
They're going to throw you out if you keep passing out in the bin.
I'm already trash.
Fuck. You know where they put all the trash here? They're going to kill you. They're going to put you in some big machine that crushes it all together so they can toss it out into the shimmering sea, the dogs.
That hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, but it could, and you don't float. So...
True.
Sorry, I was worried about you. I'm glad to see you're okay and just having a nap.
Sometimes you just need a sleep.
No, believe me, I know. I haven't had a good sleep in a long time. But I'm back. I took a short trip. I went to Black Dock.
Oh, how was it?
That was good. Have you ever been to Black Dock?
Sort of like sits back in the bin and begins to sort of count on his fingers. Probably about 3.5 years ago.
Okay. Alright. Wow. This is shortly before I met you. Well, I didn't come to catch up, as I never really do. I'm sorry, Alan. I'm not a very good friend to you. You know that I only come when I need something.
Well, you know, so do most of my customers.
Well, I'd like to think that I'm more than just a customer. You know.
Sort of reaches out to pat you on the shoulder and just misses.
I see his hand miss, and I nod, and I just kind of smile at him. And you know, Alan, I'm in big trouble, and you know, and not criminal trouble, not with other gangs like I've told you before. Bigger fish, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, gotta be wary of those big fish.
Yep. You know exactly what I mean. So I can't get into it a whole lot, and I'm not sure if you'd even know what to do, but I need something to help me keep going, and I'm about to work on something pretty big here. Meanwhile, I'm wondering. I'm kind of short on money right now, and I was hoping that either you could, you know, spot me some supplies, and I could get back to you. You know, like you know, I'm good for it. I've never not, you know.
Well, how much are we talking?
And I start scratching my forearm. I need enough for a week's worth doses of lax, and also some supplies so I can work on something new. Less of a drug and more of a weapon.
What kind of supplies?
Well, I found some raw etheric dust, and I'm working on something that could potentially negate or at least suppress an aberrant.
Well, I think I know what you need.
You do?
Mm-hmm. It's the stuff I don't sell yet.
Wait, meaning you don't have it?
No, meaning that if I sold it to you, you'd probably die.
Oh, well, I think you almost did sell me. Well, you may have actually sold me that stuff before when I, you know, turned into the gothic creature I am now.
Yeah, you know, mistakes.
They were made, but it would not be a mistake of you to lend me the supplies. I swear I'll pay you back. You know I'm good for it.
You know, Rexy, I do know you're good for it.
It's
like trying to like poke at your nose, but just can't seem to get where it is.
Hey, fine. Yeah.
All right, so a week's worth for your licks and
7 doses. That's all. Yes.
some doses, and then some of the stuff for the other thing.
That's right.
All right, just give me a sec, Rexy. And he sort of sits back in the trash can, and you sort of see him sitting there. He like puts up a hand, covers his nose, and you see him somehow start to sink in the trash.
Oh god.
A few moments go by, you can see sort of the stuff above him sort of shifting a bit as like almost this like mole makes its way through the trash heap that he sleeps on, and after a few moments pops up with 3 small little burlap bags. All right, Maxie, here's the stuff for your licks, and here's the stuff for the other thing.
Hey, and what's that third bag? Oh, the 2 are for the legs.
You do it for the licks.
Right. Thank you so much, Alan. I promise I'll pay you back. I'm just
You get me back next time you come around next week. You get me back for this week, and then we're all good.
well, sounds good. Yeah. I next time I see you, I hope I'm doing better, and well, I hope you're exactly the same.
Oh, thank you, Rexy.
Love you lots, man. I mean, I'll pay you back.
You know what? You're pretty cool too.
I smile and turn away and just kind of walk down, and then the camera shot is me walking away, and then like him kind of in the back right, sticking his head out the dumpster.
Yep, he's sticking his head out the dumpster, sort of watches you go, and then it like slowly lowers.
And then as it slowly lowers, I slowly turn back into the dark.
Okay.
And I'll just go back to my crib.
All right. So you arrive back at your guys' place because the meeting spot with Alan is only about 10 minutes away from home. So you get back before these guys do. So you get back, you see Jade. Jade is now moved from the sitting on the bed in the loft. He's now sitting on one of the couches down on the first floor, and you can see like a couple streaks in his hair. So it seems like he's been using magic. It's hard to tell what kind of magic, but still seems like very deep in thought.
Okay. Has he had any of the flat liquor?
No, he hasn't. He hasn't touched it.
Okay. I go up to the table and say, "You're not going to drink that, are you?"
No, Rex, I'm not.
I think I'm going to pour it all out.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna grab the bottles and then just start pouring them down the sink. And like I kind of just like stand back and watch them like glug down, and I just shake my head as they do. And then I'll set up all the supplies to have a fucking night of cooking.
Okay, sounds good. And while Rex is setting up these supplies, you guys all enter the premises.
Woo!
Wow! Look who brought the party!
Yeah.
I hold up the bottle.
Oh! We got a letter.
From who?
Silence.
Oh!
Huh? He wasn't there. But
He wasn't there.
No, he wasn't there. But then I remembered that he gave me that coin so I can send him a letter, so I wrote him back. But then I asked him to send the coin back so that I could write him again, because he only gave me one, so I'm not sure how that works.
But what did he tell you?
Oh, okay, yes, right. He said that the stuff we did at the Caldwells had a rippling effect. And he said that to the north at a trading post, there's like strange stuff happening, and that like officials are going missing, and symbols are appearing like he said eldritch, like your eldritch symbols are appearing on doors, and then the people inside them are like vanishing, and
they're going mad.
they're what?
Like the guests at the party.
Oh yeah, and also they're hearing like whispers in the wind.
Oh, I heard whispers. I heard that shit.
Yeah, so I think he thinks it's the same guy from the Caldwell house who's like, but he said somewhere to the north at a trading post, but he didn't say where. So
No,
I told him if he wants us to accept a job, he's gonna have to give us more details.
Well, yeah, okay, so you wrote them back. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, what is to the north? Could I try to think of what could... Isn't it... Yeah, because isn't it the Shimmering Sea?
Abby?
Yeah. So, like, no, like, it's not a trading post. Like, the town is called Post. Like, that's its name. That's where the stuff is going on, yeah.
Isla, you
Yeah.
simple... I mean, sorry. Understood. To Post.
Okay, it's called Post. Right.
Yeah, place's name is called Post.
Well, now you can see the confusion.
I can, no doubt.
Oh, well then I probably shouldn't have asked him in the letter where. Oh.
I mean, I don't think he said where he was. Did he say he was in Post? It was just the weird stuff that's happening there.
Right.
Well, he'll definitely give some clarification, which will be helpful.
I also asked him to help me.
Or with your threat.
Yeah. Do you guys want to know my plan?
What's your plan?
Okay. So I was thinking that maybe Silence, because he's really good at stuff, he could help me get into a house of the red-headed lady.
Of the red-headed lady?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Oh, she's the one that takes me apart and puts me back together. So I think she's probably the one that built me in the first place. But
Wait, do you know where she lives?
no, but I reckon if she's high enough up at
Prime Tech?
Prime Tech, that she, built me, she's probably known in the city, so Silence would know where she is.
Probably lives in the High District.
Mm-hmm. So then Silence could help us break into her house, and then you guys can hold her at gunpoint while I question her, and then we can make her take the tracker out of my head. Because I want to know, since Abby said it, Abby said I could be a real, a body and bones person. Right? So I want to know.
Do you know who this person is? Do you know their name?
She is a red-headed halfling woman, and she has green eyes and freckles.
Does that sound familiar, Cal?
Give me a history check there, Ludi.
Familiar.
I don't... Kale, do I know her name?
I don't think you know her name, no.
And she doesn't, like, wear a name tag on her lap coat that I
No,
would have
she
seen.
doesn't.
No.
No.
I don't really know. Usually, I just see her from, like, this angle.
Oh,
What was your role there, Ludi?
16.
16? So sort of going through what you know of High District personnel, the only red-headed halfling that you can think of is a woman named Saren.
And do I remember what her job is or how old she was?
You know that she does work at Prime Tech, but you were never quite sure what she did at Prime Tech.
I bet it's Saren.
Did you say Saren?
Yeah.
Like the rap?
no, like the god. Seven, right?
Like Darren, but with an S.
Oh, okay. Saren.
I know
Oh, I like
her.
that.
Well, I mean, I know of her. And she worked for Prime Tech. She matches your description. And, Kale, she lived in the High District.
She lives in the High District, yes.
Do I know where her house is?
You do not know.
Yeah, I think that might be Mom.
Yeah, I don't know where her house is, but I know she lives in the High District somewhere. Kale, do I know... would there be a way... Would I have any way of finding out where she lives?
Without either, like, you could potentially find it through, like, asking around in the High District, or somehow procuring a map, or asking others that may know the High District a little bit better, but as for sort of, like, under-the-radar ways of finding where she lives, it may be a bit difficult.
Oh, you know, Isla,
Mhm.
not a bad idea. At all. You know, the person who made you would definitely know how you tick and could potentially change things. But I'm wondering if gunpoint might only make matters worse. What if she wants to help you?
Well,
Yeah, Kale. This is what I'm thinking about in my head, and Rex is thinking the exact same. They're thinking on the same train as me. Would she be sympathetic towards me?
No.
Saren wouldn't? Or
Saren wouldn't, no.
okay.
Yeah, I don't think she'd be very helpful, Rex.
well, they're sending people after me, so...
Yeah, she's not. From what I know of her, she's not deviant to the cause.
Yeah,
What's the
I think
cause?
if she works at Prime Tech and lives in the High District, she's probably, in on it. Right?
Yeah,
on
she's.
what? Are you guys talking
High
in
up
code?
in the company, you know?
Not to say that holding her at gunpoint wouldn't work, Isla. I'm just saying that asking nicely wouldn't work. That's all.
Oh.
But forcing her to do it, I'm on board with that. Anything to get that tracker out of you that we need to do, I'll do.
Okay. Silence will know.
This is a bit of a roundabout way, but I bet my mom knows where she lives. But I think we need to deal with that first. But if we don't, somehow, I think my mom would probably know where she lives.
Wait, are you saying that the order of events should be...
No, I think that we do need to get the tracker out before we save my mom. I'm just saying that if we come to a complete loss and we can't figure it out, I'm pretty sure my mom could help us find her.
That's good to know.
Okay.
I definitely think we need to try and find a way to get that tracker out of you before we save my mom.
Right, because we don't want them tracking us to your mom.
Well, yeah, and we don't want them killing you. Or taking you. Not killing you, but taking you.
Yeah, as long as Prime Tech and therefore the overseers have a way to all the time track us, we're in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know. I'm happy that they know we're here. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. No problem.
Okay.
We're safe as long as we're together.
Right.
But we should act soon.
I'm gonna go back to the bar tomorrow. And you guys have to go see Ezen, right? Is that happening? You have to go see Britt, not Ezen.
Britt, but you know what? You know that stone that Ezen gave us to contact him?
Yeah.
What if he's in contact with Silence? We could maybe fast track it. I could just ask him right now.
No, we asked him if he knew Silence, and he didn't know.
Oh yeah, you're right. We did.
Yeah, they're not buddies.
So maybe while you guys go to talk to Britt tomorrow, I'm just gonna hang out at the bar all day, and that way when Silence gets there, we can just talk in person.
But it'll be his messenger that gets there, right? Because didn't Doreen say that a messenger brought the letter, not Silence himself?
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like if I'm there and the messenger's there and I'm like, hey messenger, go tell Silence I'm here and I really want to talk to him in person, maybe he'll go.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Also, he likes his wine.
He does. And if he got a message from you, he might just come straight back to the city.
Probably. Oh, you think? Right to the city? My message wasn't that interesting. I probably should have thought it out more, but we were on the spot. Curfew was happening. Doreen was looking at me like TikTok.
Yeah, but he came back to the city to talk to us in person the last time he had a job for us. So now that he knows we're around, he might just, kill the messenger.
Oh God, I hope not.
No, it's like an expression. He might just fast track. He might just come himself.
Oh, well, yes.
I don't think he's going to kill anyone. That's a messenger. I'm tired.
Me too.
Is that the plan then for tomorrow?
Do you guys know what time curfew is over in the morning? Just
Nope.
asking for a friend.
I'm going to go ahead and assume it's 12 hours. So then, when does it start?
8?
Yeah, that's probably a fair guess that it'll be 8 a.m. roughly.
God.
We could just take a little peek out the window and see if everything's, buzzing and happening. We'll know.
Okay.
I'm sure you'll be buzzing around the window waiting for it all to start.
Yes.
But now if you'll excuse me and Ludi, let's go buzz over here. I got some lax supplies. Come here.
Oh. Have you been cooking?
Well, not yet. I was waiting for you, of course.
Oh.
But then I kind of bring you close and I whisper quietly, say, but I didn't have any money, so he's just lending. Alan's just lending it to me, so I had to take.
How much do you owe him?
Well, just the usual. Could I remember how much it was per dose?
You ballpark for yourself, per dose for lax, it's about 30 gold per dose, but you're not entirely sure how much it costs for the extra stuff that you got from him. So for your doses, it's about 210 gold. But then there's also the additional cost of the additional resources.
Well, make sure we sell all this to pay him back.
Yeah. Okay. Let's cook.
Okay. I wash my hands and I get down to business.
Okay. So give me a alchemist tools check using intelligence with advantage.
Bitchin'! I mean, that's really awesome! It's not bad. Sorry, I just can't math. 20!
All right. So you successfully make the week's worth of batches of lax, the two of you. So over the course of about the next hour and a half together, the two of you make these 7 doses of lax.
Awesome. Then, I guess brush my hands off, slap Ludi's booty,
It's not booty looty.
Looty's looty.
Give him a kiss on the cheek and sort of just like look at the 7 lined up like that, and then I say, "Oh, this one's sick," and then I scratch L's into all of them.
Nice.
I'm getting mixed up with the wig.
No. Opposite effects.
That'd be bad.
Win, lose.
Bridge. Gotcha.
The same effect if you think about it.
No.
Both like fast track the whole sleeping process. You know, one is like instant lax and the other is like just lax. You know, you're really in one market, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Get into the market of something people would really want and escape from all this stuff, you know, like something that like you take it and all of a sudden like flowers start growing out of your fingernails and like, well, maybe that's a little bit creepy, but like, you know, like the walls get wavy and like, you know, like there's an ocean all of a sudden inside of the sink and it's like you start questioning things about life and the universe and the meaning of everything and you determine that the answer is 42.
You're crazy, and I love you.
Love you too.
Is that the kind of drug you'd want to do, Ludi?
Oh yeah, I would do that kind of a drug.
Oh, so you're not so straight and narrow as I assumed.
No, consciousness raising, I'm all for it.
Well, I suppose I should have assumed so, considering your meditative habits. You're a very mindful one. You know that, Ludi?
I don't think many people consider me particularly mindful, but thank you.
Oh, but you are. You are. I see it in everything you do.
I overthink everything.
Except when you're like yelling at me or scowling at me. Actually, when you're most quiet is when when I'm most afraid of you, to be honest. I say this domestic conversation happens in earshot of everybody. Just saying.
I'm completely silent, and I don't say anything to you.
I gulp. Then I'm gonna third time's the charm. Try making this new thing.
Okay. Give me an alchemist tools check with proficiency, no advantage.
Okay, just thinking here. I know it takes no thinking to roll. I'm just thinking about.
Huh.
23.
Wow.
Okay.
No, I know I'm at home, but I swear to God, that's a 19, and that's what I got.
Woo!
Yeah, I suppose we all could be cheating on our dice rolls.
Not one.
They mean.
Okay, so going through, using the resources you have at hand to try and create this this new drug.
Mm-hmm.
It takes you more resources than it would to create one dose of this, as you do have to do a little bit of experimentation to figure out sort of like what works and what temperature you need to get the chemical to and how much of this unrefined etheric dust you need to add to it. But after better part of 45 minutes of experimenting with this, you come out with one dose of whatever you want to call this new chemical.
I imagine it's in like a beaker or a vial, opposed to.
Yeah, it's a, instead of like with lax where it ends up being a sort of like a powder that's inhaled, this is a liquid.
I kind of swish it about, and in the process, sort of hued it a greenish tint, similar to my eye color, and I hold it up in front, particularly sort of presenting it to Isla, and they say, "I hereby present to the survivors, thrivers, and keep each other alivers, Snake."
Okay.
And I put it, I like give it to Isla, and they say, "Now I don't think it would be easy to get somebody to try to drink it, because no one would want to drink that sickly green color.
Right.
But if we found the syringe,
I can pick up a syringe tomorrow.
Yes.
Wait! Wait! Hold
What?
on. I go into my bag and open up my medical kit.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a needle in my med kit?
There is indeed. You have 3 syringes. Each seems to be filled with some sort of like sterilization fluid, so something that would be used to like sterilize a wound. So you do have to empty out the syringe of what's in it.
Anybody have any cuts from the
Yeah.
fight?
I got a lot of them.
Okay, come here.
My shirt a little bit at the corner of my hip.
Oh God. I put the needle like, should I? Well, I'll put it. Do you want it in the middle of the cut or to the side of it?
I don't know. Just do it.
Okay, I put it right in the middle of the cut and squeeze the needle.
Okay, give me a medicine check.
Oh God. 6.
Okay, so Ludi, you feel this. It feels like it's a disinfectant. It's something meant to like stop the wound from becoming infected. You feel the sting.
It burns.
But it doesn't seem like it was used properly. You don't regain any health points.
Ugh.
It's okay. It's a slow burn. It'll work over time. I promise you, after this shot, tomorrow morning you'll wake up with not a scratch.
You sure about that?
Positive.
Ludi knows.
Okay, and then I open up the back of the syringe and I... Oh, can we? Pour it in? Should I pour it in?
No, I don't see why not. Wait, maybe first,
You should rinse it out.
say again?
Rinse it out. Like, so it's not double mixing with, like, any remnants.
Oh.
Yeah, do that first. And, I would, if you can fit it all, I would put every last drop into that syringe.
Okay. I go over to the sink and rinse out the syringe. And
Okay.
then fill it with the green gook. The snake. Snake.
So Isla, standing there at the sink, begins to fill this syringe with this sort of almost neon green liquid that begins to fill it. And as she caps it on and has now this syringe of snake, that is where we're going to take our break for tonight.
Woo!
So we'll catch you guys in a little bit. We're going to take a 15-minute break here for everyone to go pee, get a snack, get a drink, wash your hands. So we'll see you guys in 15 minutes. If you haven't already and are enjoying what you enjoying what you see on this this stream so far, give us a follow and or subscribe right here on Twitch. We really appreciate that. Or a subscribe to our channel on YouTube, Dungeons and Drama Majors. Not all one word for our YouTube channel, but check that out. Also, we have all of our other 27 episodes from this campaign, and we have a little recap of I believe it's the first 9 episodes. We have a little play-by-play of what the first 9 episodes were, so you don't have to necessarily go back and watch them, or maybe listening to the recap, you'll want to go back and watch them.
Oh, it was an exciting time.
Riveting.
It was a wild time.
Many of us almost died many times. And there's a really fun part where we climb.
Climb out of a window. Oh, God.
Exhilarating.
With that, we'll see you guys in 15 for some more steampunk fun.
Woohoo!
Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome back to Dungeons and Drama Majors. We hope you guys had a good break. We sure did. There was popcorn made. It is the best kind of break. So we'll be picking things up right where we left off with Dungeons and Drama Majors when our heroes were just finishing up the creation of Snake, a new drug created by Rex Murglax.
Thank you.
Would you like to make a speech, Rex? To commemorate the moment.
You know, I'm not very good with words. Okay. From when I was very little, I always thought that I would have something of mine that I could call my own. And I realized that the odds were going to be stacked against me as soon as the Shaw Doctrine became a reality. But I think that this snake is the first step towards dismantling the Shaw Doctrine. Albeit, what it does is the exact thing that the Shaw Doctrine wishes that it could do.
Mm.
But I think it will help us dismantle it. I look over to Jade and I say, we are the snakes. New Eden is the grass. We will reclaim it.
I thought we were the boys, and Isla is the red one, the sparrow.
Oh, I think I called you guys sparrows. I'm the red one. But that was just, I made that up on the spot because he asked who we were, and I thought we shouldn't say our real names.
Yeah, but I prefer the image of being seen as a sparrow over being seen as a snake.
What about like a flying snake?
A sparrow that carries the snake in its talons. Caw!
A snarrow, if you will.
It's sparrow towns.
Hey, Louie, no offense, but, what do you think a sparrow is, bud? How big do you think they are, fam?
They couldn't carry snakes. Oh.
But no, because, no, but
City
listen.
boys.
But there's logic here because we're not like big, like, well, Abby aside, we're not like huge people who like beat stuff down. We're like small and we like sneak in and flutter by and get the job done.
Yeah, totally.
And then Abby, it's like sparrows and an eagle.
Oh yeah.
And I'm the snake.
I'm just picturing two sparrows carrying either end of a snake, and then just an eagle.
Glad we sorted that out.
Well, you enjoy that venom of mine. Never imbibe it, no matter how delicious it looks.
And do you
It
say
does.
invite it? What, am I
No.
going to take it out for dinner?
It
No,
said imbibe.
Ah,
Do you know that word?
I know lots of words.
That's one you should learn. It means this.
Okay. Okay.
Bye.
You can imbibe some of the liquor that we brought.
Guys, we could be surviving, thriving, keeping each other alive, and imbibing.
Well, let's get to it. I immediately notice, like an eagle, but instead I'm a snake, this bottle of spirits in Abby's hand.
The buxom Baron vodka.
Oh, you picked a fine poison.
And I got a beer.
Oh, honey, can I have a sip of that? It looks delicious.
I got nothing because they didn't have cinnamon hearts.
Well, you still have some cinnamon hearts here. I was having some earlier.
Yeah, but I'm running low.
I'll stop having them.
No, we can share. We just have to get more.
Where did we get them the last time? Oh, at that store in the hide.
Well, I pour myself a little swig of vodka, and I say, to a safe stay in New Eden.
Here.
Yeah.
And I knock it back, I don't think I do much for the rest of the night.
Okay. Anything anyone else like to do before packing it in for the night?
I just catch Rex's eye as I saunter upstairs.
I finished my 7th drink. Oh, I imagined we drank for a while. Maybe we did.
Played some card games.
Yeah. Sorry, what did you say, Braden?
I spy with my little eye.
Something that is cute.
Oh, is it that mouse over there?
Where? Fusro!
Give me 2 rolls to hit.
Do I see it? Maybe.
Generally in your haze, they have a pretty high bonus because you're drunk. But you can try.
Oh, 18.
Okay, so you hit the first one.
18 and 15.
Okay, you missed the second one.
Fuck!
So, like last time, actually this time it's reversed. The first bolt strikes true. You hear a high-pitched squee as this mouse just turns into ash, and the other one, after seeing this bolt of energy blast in the floor, you now have these 2 sort of like small black spots in the floor where you've burned holes shooting at these 2 mice. The other one ducks behind a piece of furniture and disappears.
I'm feeling woozy. But not sick.
Do you want a cinnamon heart?
Yeah.
It helps. Right.
It's nice.
Let's go to bed, Rex.
Okay.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
You know.
Okay. So everyone calls it a night. Is there anything anyone else would like to do before benefiting from a long rest?
No. Not before
Yeah.
4 hours.
Like right before, like going to bed, Abby, who is pretty far gone at this point, sort of like just like sits like on the edge of the couch, and assuming Isla is still in the room, and is just sort of like staring off into the distance, and is like, "Do you think they knew?"
I come over and sit down next to him, and then stare where he's looking for a clue as to what he's saying.
Like those scientists earlier. You think they knew that, like, if something went wrong, that they were going to get killed by their own company?
I don't know. I mean, they both ran. But I think they were running from us.
Yeah. It just happened so fast, I don't know if... who the hell does that? I don't know.
I don't know. And it definitely trained on him, right? It wasn't like trying to hit someone else and got him by mistake.
Yeah, I don't think those things missed much. They hit true most of the time. So, kind of hard to, like, who else would they have been aiming at right then, Like, you hit a halfling square in the forehead, probably looking to do that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It just seems really cruel, though.
Yeah. I don't know who we're messing with. I don't know what fucked up shit goes on behind those doors where you popped out of.
You don't think we should go knocking?
I don't know if we have a choice, but I just hope that that's not what's waiting for you on the other end of those doors.
I reach over and give him a squeeze. And then sit back.
All right. Good night, bud.
Nah.
And Abby goes to bed.
Okay. So Abby goes to bed. Isla goes to bed. Rex, do you pop a lax?
I think I'm cuddling with Ludi, conscious, and just I take a moment and I'm laying in the same indentation that my body has created in this mattress that I did, weeks ago. Duvet pulled up to the bottom of my draconic jaw. And Ludi as the little spoon. I just rest my snout over his sort of jawline and cheek, as you can see on the camera now, so prominently displayed. and then I just say one thing. That's Ludi. No. Do you hear me breathing? I can hear you breathing.
You breathing?
I don't want that to ever stop. I'm gonna wait until I kind of know Ludi's asleep, and I'm just gonna stay awake and listen to him breathe.
Okay.
Ludi doesn't snore.
As soon as a snort comes out, like one of those, then I'm gonna pop a lax.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rex goes into his lax-induced sleep. Abby and Isla both go into their sort of resting states, and nighttime slowly begins to slip away. And during the night, peaceful, no real interruptions to sleep, except for one person. Isla, you are once again visited with another dream.
Oh, no.
As you're sleeping, as you felt a couple nights ago, the message that you received, or I guess that was last night, the message you received, you, in your state of sort of this dull rest where you can just generally see the area around you, it's just sort of slightly out of focus, your vision once again sort of fades to black. And the fear slowly begins to take hold as you sort of await whatever message is going to come to you. And as the vision comes back in, you find yourself in a completely white room, it could only be called. You can't see the walls, you can't see the ceiling. The floor, you can only really consider the floor because it's where your feet are standing, but it just looks like you're in a white space. Across from you, about 15 feet away, you see sitting in a black leather chair the woman you now know as Saren. She sits there, arms crossed, one leg crossed over the other, and she just sort of watches you.
Hello?
Well, hello, Isla. Is that the name you've chosen for yourself?
It's borrowed.
Like much of you. You see, Isla, those of us who created you, we created you for so much. You have, and she stands up out of this chair and begins to walk towards you, and as you sort of feel the impetus to react, you realize you're completely frozen. You can't move whatsoever. You're completely in this space at Saren's mercy. And she strides towards you. You were made for a few things. The first, which you have proven quite adept at, is infiltration. Being able to change your face the way you have, being able to adapt to scenarios, it's quite impressive. It's as I planned. However, the thing I did not plan for was to make it even greater discovery. Sentience. When I was making, guess you could call it a toy experiment, a new project, didn't think it would turn out the way it did. There are things, Isla, that you don't know you can do. There's much of your software that, well, from where I sit, I'd prefer others didn't find out about it.
I prefer you didn't call me that.
Isla? Would you prefer me to call you?
I don't see why you have to call me anything. I don't think I had a name before.
How would I call you? K. The last 3 letters in your serial number. CAE.
That's fine.
All right, K.
So what else do I do?
Well, now, you see, I found myself in a very lucky position. I thought at first that I was going to have to move you around from store to store, finding new ways of testing your software and your hardware, finding ways of infiltrating the minds of those around you, making them think things. Thought that at some point, it's just going to have to keep moving you around, having you sort of test out the various accessories you possess. Little did I know, I'm in the lucky circumstance where you can test yourself out. I don't need any middlemen. I don't need the rest of my corporation. I just need you. I'm here to strike a bargain, Kay. A bargain for your freedom.
And what's on my end?
Well, on your end, always know that and you suddenly feel this pain fill your body. It feels like 1,000 small electrified pins all going off at once. You can feel your heart, the thing that has been created to be your heart, almost twisting in your chest. Know that I have the ultimate kill switch. If things go poorly, if you try to turn on me, we know how things will end. It's creator to creation. However, I think we're in a mighty fine position. Those in my employment quite avid to find you, as are other members of the circle. But I am quite interested in seeing what you can do out in the field. You proved yourself quite the force to be reckoned with against a couple of my employees. Never
I think
seen
you
quite.
finished off one of them yourself.
Well, information, as you know, is a commodity that is best protected. Secret. Sometimes you have to sacrifice the few to save the many. Kay, for your freedom, I only ask a few things. Occasionally, as you go about your freedom, your adventures with this ragtag crew of degenerates you found yourself with.
They're not degenerates.
You don't have much of a gauge. As you go around, there will occasionally be things that I need of you. Certain tasks performed, certain things tried out. Aspects of your software that I will slowly release to you.
You mean I don't have access to everything now?
No. When I designed your programming, I made sure that certain firewalls were implemented so that you couldn't access everything you have. Any attempt to break these firewalls without my direct authorization will, once again, you feel the pins of electricity across your body, not end very well for you. However, with my okay, you might find that some of these are quite interesting, quite fun to play with. All I ask is the occasional job, the occasional prototyping of some of my software, and for that I will give you your freedom.
Okay. Say I get arrested on one of your jobs. Give me my freedom from that too.
Well now, Kay, we both know you're too smart to get arrested. Should you prove that my programming and incredible hardware is unable to fulfill such a simple task as remaining unincarcerated, I'll have no choice but to terminate you. For both your safety as well as mine. I mean, none can know about our little arrangement.
Okay. How many updates?
It's for you to find out in time.
Can I tell my friends? Wait, no. I don't want you to answer that, because if you say no, I'll be upset. Better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Now there's a smart girl. Well, if you understand our arrangement.
I think I do. I just want to recap so that you don't flip a switch I don't want flipped. I don't come after you. You don't come after me. I do some tests every now and then. And in exchange, I get cool perks. And you don't come after any of my degenerates. Because if anything happens to one of them, I wouldn't be very happy about our bargain.
Well, there's much you don't know about your band of degenerates that I have had the great pleasure of learning. Weeks. I'm sure you'll find yourself in interesting company. I have no particular qualms with any of these individuals, but there are others who do. I may not be the one hunting them, but I promise you, others are looking for you.
For which one?
You act as if you're all not wanted.
Fair. But I'm not wanted anymore, right?
As said before, the city doesn't know anything about our arrangement. Shaw, Edvard, none of them. To the city, you're still a wanted criminal.
Oh my god.
Back up. Who?
I'm sorry?
Shaw, sure. Edvard?
Yes, that was one thing that I missed in some of my programming. You miss quite a lot of the basics of society, something that I was quite excited to watch you learn
Rude.
with your fellow companions. Edvard is the, well, not only creator, but leader of the Ravens.
And the Ravens are those spy people.
Yes, as some call them, Shaw's flock.
There's a lot of bird imagery in this world.
New Eden, when it was created, was a bastion of freedom. Free of a place where people could soar high above their compatriots. Birds were just the symbol that stuck.
Where are you? Wait, better question. Where are we?
This is our own private, you could call it, space, plane, channel. Something only I can access. Something only you can access.
So can I call you?
Doesn't quite work that way.
Can it work that way? It seems like you have a lot of power.
Maybe one day.
Can you give me a tease of a skill I'll get?
Sorry.
You'll find them in time.
Is there anything I can do now that I haven't tried yet?
Don't believe so, though I have been disappointed that one of my features hasn't been used as often as I hoped.
What one?
Your ability to pick out weaknesses.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty good at other stuff. It doesn't always need to come into play.
Something I'll have to, make more worth it in the future.
For me?
As said before, the one, the many.
One more thing.
Yes.
This is going to sound like a weird request. Go with it. I need you, and I will agree to all this, everything you said so far, I will agree to all of it, with one more condition. I need you to go buy a bulk package of cinnamon hearts, and I need you to send them to a discreet location. We'll say the Weirwood Meadery in the Middle District. Put a sparrow on the outside of it. A red sparrow. That's my symbol. Bird imagery. Boom.
I've always been interested what the implications of taste receptors would do in a automaton.
Oh, do you want to know?
Well, no, I've gotten all the information I need from watching you.
You watched me, you
Yes.
haven't heard it.
Hmm?
See, you might actually learn something if you ask me more questions and you don't just watch, because there's some things you can't learn from just watching. Observation doesn't work for everything.
There's a lot that I learned that you don't know I learned from watching you.
There's a lot that I learned that you don't know I learned from you watching me.
She walks up to you, and in this weird white space room, it sort of like takes steps up into the air until she's face to face with you.
Oh, I have one more request.
And she puts a hand on your cheek.
Can we make
Yeah.
this place red next time?
Good night, Isla. And she brings her two fingers across your eyes, and as your eyes close, all you see is red. And then it's back. The room sort of fades into that blurred view once again.
Hey, did you spell Saren right? Are you sure it's not Satan? What?
Ah,
Do you wake up, or do you do the rest of your rest there, Isla?
I guess I finished.
Okay.
I will wake up and go. I said, I look. Abby's asleep. Jade's asleep. Oh my god. And then rest again.
So at about 4:30 a.m. is when Isla, Abby, and Rex all awake from their sleeps.
Morning, princess.
Oh, not so loud, please.
yes. Shh. He's still sleeping.
I wasn't sure. Okay. Do you want a cinnamon heart? They cure everything. I swear it. Do you think curfew's over yet? Okay. Can I talk to you about something?
I swing my legs off my bed and come down in like pajama pants and like a muscle tee. But not many muscles are showing. And just like kind of come down the steps and help my way down. And I go straight towards the sink and just start splashing water in my face and wash it.
I made a deal last night. Okay, so, you know how I told you 2 days ago that I don't dream? And then last night I had a dream? Or 2 nights ago I had a dream? Well, last night, I got transported into a different, she said the word plane. And I met with Saran Wrap. And, well, she said some things that made me rethink our plan.
Yeah, and what?
Oh, basically she has like a kill switch. She can turn me on or off whenever she wants. She was like pulling out this thing in here somewhere, and it hurt pretty bad, and I couldn't move. And then she told me that I had to strike a bargain with her, and she bartered my freedom for me being a tester for her. So every now and then, it's totally chill. Don't worry about it. We're fine. It's like not a big deal at all. Just filling you in. So she she's gonna let me live, and she's gonna stop Prime Tech from coming after me. But in exchange, I can't go to jail. And I have to do stuff for her. Every now and then if I do stuff for her, I get like little gifts.
I turn around and like sit against the sink with my arms crossed, and I go, sounds familiar.
You met her?
I take a couple strides towards the chair, sit down, and say, no, I haven't met her, but I've met someone just like her.
Oh, maybe she has a sister. Oh, also, she told. Oh, do either of you know what a bastion is?
Bastion?
Yeah, bastion.
Yeah, isn't that like a big like wall thing, like a fortress?
Okay, so New Eden, she said, was a fortress. She also told me I was made for some other things that I don't know yet, that I have to try. So I'm gonna get like more stuff I can do, which is pretty cool. And but also, yeah, she's not a good person, I don't think. Because between you and me, she was okay with killing that guy. And she literally said the words, sometimes you have to sacrifice the few to save the many. And that sounds like some dictator shit to me.
Yeah.
Also, she told me about a guy named Edvard who runs the Ravens. And she said that he's looking for me. Or that I was in danger for him or something. She said that she can't protect me from Shaw or Edward. And I don't know why him? I mean, Shaw I get because Shaw runs the Overseers and we kind of screwed up with them, but I don't understand this other guy. Do you know him? Rex? Abby? Either of you?
Yeah, I know him.
Like, well?
Well enough to have shook his hand 20 times over.
Seriously?
Yeah. And then, after those 20 times, over the course of a year and a half, gave him probably the biggest middle finger I ever could have. Hypothetically.
Okay. What did you do?
I stole something from him.
Well, I get that. I like to steal. And you think he's mad still?
Oh, furious. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe he's coming after you.
He is.
Okay.
Do you remember when we came into all this and met each other?
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, Ludi and I said that we're both wanted.
Yeah, I thought that was by Booker's gang.
No, Booker's gang are, a problem to us. But that was because of the work we were doing. Rivals, right? Ludi, being my partner, was dragged into all of this.
Okay.
Nedved is after me, and therefore, and just as much, maybe even more so, after him.
So, like, use him to get to you. New Eden is a bad place.
Yeah, but it's the only place, it's beautiful too.
Bad Bastion.
Well, I think it's become bad. Once was something different.
Okay. Oh, there's some good news to go with all the bad news, though.
Yeah?
We're getting a bulk package of cinnamon hearts. She's gonna send them to the Warwood Meadery. And I told her, I've decided my symbol, you know how everyone has, like, birds? My symbol's gonna be a little red sparrow.
I stand up and say, that's delightful. And then I move towards the stairs of the loft again. I begin, like, kind of walking up and in, like, a bit of a groggy haze say, I stop at the top and say, Isla, that is actually great news. And I turn, take a big deep breath, looking at Ludi asleep on the bed, and I just say, that's great news. And then I go and I lay down next to him again.
So when
Alright.
curfew's lifted, I'm gonna go to the bar so that I can tell Silence, hey, I don't need you anymore. You wanna come?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yep.
Hey. Why not?
That was a good one.
Yes. I'm just gonna go sit up against the window, and at the first sight of people roaming, that's when I want to go.
Okay. Is there anything else, Abby and Rex?
I assume I heard them talk about, going to Weirwood, like, just from above. I haven't gone back to sleep. So if I have heard them, I'm just going to wait till they're both gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So while you guys wait for the curfew to be lifted, one of the things the two of you notice downstairs is that Jade's gone. And glancing about the home, you notice stuck to the door at about halfling height, there is a small sheaf of paper that looks like it was ripped out of a journal that has been sort of like pinned to the door with what looks to be like a small little piece of metal.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I see it. Go and tear it off and...
Okay. So, reading through the letter, you see that Jade has written you guys, hey, guys, sorry to leave you in the middle of the night. Kind of a shitty thing to do. So anyway, last night and, well, a lot of yesterday, really, like, Ludi got me thinking about, moms and parents and, that whole shtick. And I know, Isla, I've talked to you about getting in touch with my mom for your issue. It really got me thinking. I have a lot of stuff that has been untouched with my mom. A lot of not great stuff with my mom. And so I think before I ask her to do anything for us, I think I've got some things I need to iron out. I don't know how long this is going to take. I hope it will be short, but knowing Mom, it might take a bit. If you need to contact me, like if you guys are going anywhere, like I'd love to say I want to come along, but I think I need to bury this before I keep going. So if you need to contact me, send a message by Fontaine's. I think they'll see that it gets to me. But until then, you guys are great. I'm not leaving you guys. Just got some mom issues to deal with. And then you see at the very bottom is P.S. Isla, I left you a little something underneath one of the couch cushions. And then signed, "Thanks, guys, Jade."
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, we can see him though, right? Like, he'll be around. Maybe we can see if he needs help at some point, right?
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
go to Fontaine's and ask for him.
Yeah.
And she likes us, so she'd probably let us see her.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, unless, like, him and his mom are on real bad terms. Yo, what if his mom is Fontaine?
He said she was really high up. Abby.
I don't know how that would work, just, like, physically, but...
No, Nate, who knows?
Maybe he's adopted, who knows?
Or, maybe his dad was, like, a halfling and he just took after his dad.
Yeah, 100%.
I think you've done it. I think that's what
I've
it is.
cracked it wide open. Listen, I knew you were a real person the entire time, and Fontaine is Jade's mom.
Wow. Oh, Abby, I forgot to ask her.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, if she can, like, rip your heart out with her hands, I don't think that's something weird. Yeah.
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 But you never know.
You never know. Yeah.
Okay, Abby, I'm not sure in these situations, because I know, like, we're sad right now. I'm not sure in these situations how long I have to wait before I go look for my present. Do you think it's been long enough?
Yeah, I think it's been long enough.
I go pull up the couch cushions.
Okay, so pulling up the couch cushions, you find underneath the central couch cushion, laying flat underneath the cushions. Oh my god, do you have your dagger out? Are you cutting up the couch?
What?
It looks like you have your dagger. You're holding your hand like this. It looks like you have your dagger out. Are you cutting up the couch?
Holding up cushions. No, I'm not cutting a couch.
Okay. Underneath the middle cushion on the couch, you see laid out on the sort of base of the couch about, say, like the blade itself is about 6-7 inches long, serrated knife. The +1 dagger that Jade got off of the patchwork.
Oh, cool! Oh my god! Abby, he gave me a knife. Yes! Oh my god. Yes! Do you think it's gonna fit in my dagger? That might hurt.
Let's try it. Do it. Do it,
I
coward.
tried to put it in my garter.
In your garter, it's a bit rough. The serrations make it it might slowly wear down the garter, but it fits.
And it doesn't cut me?
Doesn't cut you.
This is perfect. We have to try it out. Oh, that's actually probably a pretty bad thing to say. Once next we find ourselves in a scruffle, I can't wait to try it.
Yeah, I hope so. Yup. That was weirdly enthusiastic, Isla.
No, I don't mean I like to hurt people. I just mean no. Now you know me. I like people. I just mean we seem to get into scraps a lot, right?
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have something a little more powerful.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Come on. Also, like, look at this nasty ass axe I have.
Yeah, who are you to
pull
talk?
out the bleeding one, and I'm like,
Oh god.
this is the pot calling to kill a black, you know?
Okay. With that, is there anything else like you guys would like to do while you wait for curfew to end? Okay. It's about another hour and a half passes. 6 in the morning rolls by, and you guys begin to see doors on the street begin to open, and people start sort of going about their morning business slowly but surely. Seems that 6 is the early morning start for the curfew ending.
Yo, do we think it's open right now? It's like early in the morning for a bar to be Because, like, Doreen's there all the time. Like, she was there last night just about 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
She still gotta go home, get her sleep, eat some breakfast, come back, unless she lives at the bar. Unless that's also her house.
Wouldn't she
Oh,
live at the
no.
bar? I lived in the store.
Yeah, but...
Polly didn't live in the store.
Yeah, that's not normal. That's really weird.
I went to sleep in the office.
Who slept in the office?
I
What?
did.
Yeah, that's not standard procedure when you work at an establishment, right? Like,
Hmm. Well, do bars not usually open at 6 in the morning?
do bars... What are the hours, expected hours of the Weirwood Meadery?
From what you know about other bars in the city, you know that generally most places will open around like 10 a.m.
Is it like there's like an earliest liquor sales time?
Not necessarily in New Eden, no.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, like,
I'm gonna go
10
see
seems
anyway.
more normal.
I'm gonna
We
knock
could
on
go
the door
see.
and see if she'll come.
Yeah, yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys head to the Weirwood Meadery?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys leave. Rex, you see them both head out.
I kind of like get up from the bed and just sit at the edge of it with like my head hanging down. Did I eavesdrop on the whole Jade conversation?
Give me a perception check.
Okay, I didn't read the letter, but
Mm-hmm.
it's 19.
19? I'd say you could have heard it.
Okay, I get the gist of what's going on.
Get the gist of the conversation.
Okay, I just bow my head and sort of like shake it a bit. I look at Ludi, and if I wake him up, he can go back to sleep, or at least like, has he rested for like the 6 hours that he needs to have slept for, and then the 2, you know what I mean? Like, if
At this point, yes, he's at 6 hours.
Okay, so he's close to. Okay, I look at him and just sort of put my hand on the shoulder and like kind of squeeze him a little bit, just reassuring grabs, and then I say, Irenie, dear. Irenie, you need to wake up. No one's here. It's just you and me. You looked when we got home. Is the dress okay?
I think you might be muted there, Rid.
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
When you were asleep, I took lax last night. I can see the inhaler at the bedside. Woke up. Abby, Isla woke up same time. Went downstairs for a little splash.
A little splash?
There's some water on my beak. Snout. Isla had news. That brought on more news. And as you can tell, I'm in a state, and I'm really worried about our next step here. I got a message from the woman you talked about, the orange hair.
Yeah.
And she struck a deal with Seren, and she's going to be okay. In so many words, you can talk to her, and I was reminded of a deal I made, you know? That's not why I'm worked up. Seren knows that your dad is after us. Isla knows that Edward is after us.
Does she know that he's my dad?
No. I told them that I know him. I told them that I shook his hand countless times, and that I stole the thing most precious to him.
I wasn't precious.
I think you were going to be. If he hadn't treated you with the disrespect you treat your greatest enemy, keeping you locked up like that. How's that freedom? Fuck him. But now, seems the whole world knows Edward is after you and me. And now Isla, and now Abby, and now Yade, who is also gone. That's another thing. I don't know much. I just heard him talking about it downstairs.
Why is he after Isla?
Well, maybe he's just after us, but...
The Ravens have different business than the Overseers.
Yes, I know, but by... Irenie, you and I are putting them in danger.
But we've been honest about it. I haven't told them who I am, but...
Yes.
I mean, we all know that we're in danger, and I've been very explicit that going after my mom could be one of the most dangerous things any of us would do. And I've even said that she's been held up by the Ravens. That they know that they know exactly what they're getting themselves into. Don't you think? Do you feel dishonest in a way that would endanger lives?
You know what he's capable of.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not so benevolent to strike a deal, like whoever is after Isla.
No, and he won't want me back at this point. He'll just want me dead.
Just like how he wanted my father dead. Just like how he wanted Master Iru dead. Who else is going to die?
Okay, but Rex...
It can't be you and it can't be me, because I made a...
Rex, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Isla's just received a message that, indicates we don't need to necessarily deal with her tracking situation anymore, and we've been chased, or people have been looking for all of us for a long time now. So it doesn't really make a difference who's looking for us. And besides, it was Silent's decision, anyways, in the beginning to knit us all together. I don't think we've done anything wrong.
I'm less so worried about what we've done, and I'm really scared about what we're going to do, Ludi. Who knows?
No, Rex, no one has to help me save her. I have to try, but I can't ask anyone to do it. I mean, I can't expect or force anyone to do it, or to help me. And so if you need to step away maybe you should. Maybe I don't think I can let you help me.
No.
That scared. I can try on my own.
Who?
I can try on my own.
Who?
To save my mom.
Ludi? Or Irenie?
I don't even know who's who anymore. It's so disconcerting pretending to be someone you're not all the time. I feel like I don't know how to treat people. I don't know how to behave. I don't know how. In fact, I'd love to be free of the disguise. But as long as we're in New Eden, I can't be, and it would endanger Isla and Jade and Abby even more if they knew who I was. Because as long as they know nothing, then, my dad can't torture anything out of them. If we got separated, or if they got kidnapped, or taken in by the Ravens, it's important that they don't know.
I think that was the case when we first met them.
And it's still the case now.
Honey, I don't know if Isla, Abby, or Jade would give out my address if they were tortured.
It's not about protecting me. If they have the information, my dad will be able to tell if they're lying that they don't know who Irenie Valken is, or if they are, or if they actually know who she is. He'll be able to tell, and so it's important that they don't know, because if he tries to torture it out of them, he'll be able to determine at a certain point that they actually don't know anything about this person he's asking them about. As long as he doesn't know that I'm disguised as I am, and doesn't know my pseudonym and everything, or my alias, then they're safer. Right? Right, Rex?
Seems like you really believe that, Ludi. They don't know what he's capable of. You and I do. If they don't know that, then they shouldn't know your identity. But I think they should know both. Either keep them in the dark or let them come into the light. Because we've been living in darkness for too long. I wish I could just end this all for you right now. The snap of a finger.
I was gonna tell them after we saved my mom, because after that, then it's over. Then it's done. But I truly think they're safer if they don't know. I trust them. I would tell them in a heartbeat. They're safer if they don't know. And they might be for lying about it. But I even told Isla yesterday that there's something I really want to tell her, but that I can't, because I think it would be dangerous for her to know.
Honey. Oh. Yeah. I'm going to say another thing. I don't think that they could possibly love you as much as I can. As much as I do. And you know that. Nothing.
Yeah, with friendship and romance, it's a different kind of love, right?
But when I learned about the situation that you were in, how unfairly you've been treated, I knew I had to do something. And that wasn't out of romance. It wasn't out of the night I saw you standing on that parapet of those grand stairs. It's not about that. It's about heart. And they might fight just a little bit harder if they knew what was going on. Just a little bit, if they knew. But at It's a maybe. And I don't think Abby really respects the higher class, so he might actually be disappointed. Because I think he's a sky pirate. I do.
Sky pirate?
Yeah, lives in the fucking ship in the sky, I think. He hasn't said it out loud. Fuck, they might have their suspicions too, you know? We are the best at what we do here, you and I. And I don't think they do, but...
I just don't understand exactly what's changed your mind. Why exactly do you think that now is the time, despite my conviction that they're safer if they don't know? I'm not willing to tell them if it would be neither here nor there. You know, if it would somehow be important to share that with them right now, and you could convince me that, I would. But right now, Rex, I firmly believe that they are safer if they do not know that Irenie Valken has been traveling with them for weeks.
Well, that's wise of you. Yeah. But I guess, because what we're about to go into, I wouldn't do it for you if I knew. And they don't know and they're doing it for you. But I don't know if they're going to die for you in there.
Well, then we'll just I'll make it clearer that they don't have to join me, and that it's more dangerous than they can possibly imagine.
Okay. It was good we had this talk, though.
Yeah, and if anything changes, you know, if you... I heard what you said before, but if at any point it's too much for you, Rex, you've done... You've given me a life. And that's all that I can really... Well, that's more than anyone could ever ask of anybody. And so if you need to back out, it's not even backing out. If you're too scared to, you just don't have to. You really don't have to. Help me save my mom. I will do it alone if I need to, because you know, I can't value her life over any of yours. We're all one. So just know that if you decide that you can't do it, that I'll still love you with all my heart. Okay? Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Kind of stand up off the bed and with my hands in my pajama pants pockets walk down. Actually, not down. I'm gonna change into day clothes, and I'm gonna do a fucking wardrobe switch on this bitch. Sorry to the viewers at home who see the drawing and have that beautiful black trench coat. I'm changing it up. I'm gonna wear the black pants and black boots, but I'm gonna wear the white dress shirt from the costume that I had before, as playing Monsieur Vladimir Volstock.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna throw on the brown leather jacket that Isla bought me from the High District, and I'm gonna pop a bunch of the buttons open so that you can see my black scales, and then have my necklace dangling of the Black Dragonborn scales in that opening there. Not the chest hair that I have personally.
Okay.
I'm going to come downstairs with Rex, and while he's changing, I pull the dress from my 16th birthday celebration out of the closet, and I admire the glittering jewels that are woven into its fabric for a moment, and I think about putting it on, but I put it back in, and I tighten the binds around my chest a little bit tighter, and I tell Rex I'm going to go back up and sleep for a couple more hours until the morning.
I blow a kiss.
Good night. Well, good morning, but in bed.
Good morning, no, Eden.
And with that, that's where we're going to end the session for tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Dungeons and Drama Majors. We hope you guys had a good time. We sure did. That was a little bit of backstory reveal there.
What?
What a place to end.
Oh my goodness.
What the fuck?
You guys. And Isla didn't even know.
Hey, Jackson, when you said that you were snakes, I didn't think that that's what you were gonna pull. I didn't think that it was Jackson in real life who was this snake.
Jackson's a snake.
Oh, guys, I have an idea. I think in lieu of quotes tonight, we should do our punctums from the evening, like our favorite moment from the session.
Yes, I agree.
We don't have to do it every time, but we could do it.
I like that. Okay.
My punctum is when I was pretending to be asleep, and Jackson called me Irenie for the first time ever on the stream. That's my freaking punctum for the night.
That was good. Mine, I have mine actually written down, which was M as Isla writing the letter back to Silence. Her first words were silence. Whoa, spooky.
Everything Isla did tonight, and then that moment with Ben and Isla together alone on the couch. Actually, the whole freaking session was a punctum for me, but yeah.
I gotta say, it's lighthearted. There was a lot of awesome dramatic moments, but just Alan sinking back down into the garbage to retrieve my drugs.
Oh, Alan. That sweet, sweet dwarf boy.
My punctum was the last 20 minutes. You two break my heart every time you have your alone moments, and that was amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah, pretty much me too, but I think, specifically, I wrote it down. I wrote so much down. Was Sarah knows your dad is after us? Just flattened me immediately.
You have to watch that back. I think me and Ben both had a heart attack when that moment.
I was trying not to crack. I was cracking.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Can I also share my favorite Gotham of the episode?
What's a Gotham?
Oh, just oh shit, Gotham.
Oh, I thought you meant Gotham, but with a double D, Gotham.
No.
Yeah,
No, it was when I was talking to Sarah, and she was, and I was like, they're not degenerates, and Sarah was like, you don't have much of a gauge. that got me.
Not much of a gauge for degenerates.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you guys once again for tuning in to Dungeons and Drama Majors. We super duper duper appreciate the support from you guys, and we'll see you next Sunday.
See
you
Sunday.
next Sunday.
Yeah.